Previously, in the world of Galamora.
I wouldn't need an entire lecture for this, and I don't think we have the time for it.
Essentially, they're sharing my experience.
Ah, I suppose it was a good thing then that I told Elric what I did.
What did you tell him?
Oh, right as we were leaving through that portal, I wanted to surprise him, so I told him that I'm actually the person who made Laverton's body.
Wait, what?
Oh yes, what do you think I'm doing here right now? I can see my memories right now, and it looks like I'm currently about to shoot a small woman walking along the side of a building.
What are you talking
there
about?
goes her arm. Oh, and by the way, me and Elric are rooting for you from the other side of time. Don't worry, we're fighting him too. You are all able to make out what seems to be Elric's voice saying, "This is completely hopeless. What are we going to do now? Just keel over." And in front of you, you see Jonathan and Kovar accompanied by a third person. It's King Oleron.
It's King Almond.
I have to admit, even I was ignoring a rather obvious blind spot. I was in kind of denial. I knew that it would take more than just a blood transfusion to give me these powers. I know there's more you're not telling me. And it's probably the reason that Kovar is so mad.
Culver, you were an accident. That doesn't mean I don't care about you. But I was young. And naive.
Yeah, young and naive for somebody in, what was it, the thousands?
Jonathan, I care about you. So much. Don't let anything tell you otherwise.
Is that what you told the one when you made the city?
If I could go back and change time, I would. I would do anything to stop that again.
What was his name again?
Jonathan, you are his reincarnation and you are my son.
It's like I'm following a sort of path of least resistance. Maybe I'm not flying. Maybe I'm just falling straight down and I can't tell. So, against my better judgment, alright, Snade. I don't exactly have many other choices, but I'll trust you. Just this once.
Keel over or something. You said something.
About rolling over or keeling over?
I don't remember exactly.
And then fluttering wings. Oh no.
Fate. We need to leave now.
Bingo.
Good.
And leave to where, might you be wondering? Kolvar, your rationale, it intrigues me. All the power you could ever imagine. And still, you would seek to defy your destiny. But alas, all of you are disappointments.
You're just the lapdog of the tribunal.
Snade. It appears out of thin air and grasps at the area where the ladybugs are resting. Of all those in attendance, you are by far reality's worst mistake.
Let's go! Welcome back, everyone. I have to turn my gain down just a little bit and mute my phone. Hello, welcome back to Untold Realms Rise of Vestia, session 24. Holy shit, we've been at this for a while. Where's my mute button? There it is.
Oh yeah.
Did you mute? Just in case we were going to see something.
My phone? Or...
I thought when you said unmute, I thought, oh, did she mute us because she didn't want us to do the whole, like, say something random in the first open?
No, I needed to unmute. English is really hard. I had to mute my phone because I turned my phone notifications on this time around. Hold on one second. Thank you, lungs, for being terrible and never working. Yeah, I had to turn my notifications on for my phone this week for medical purposes. And they're just Anyway, hello chat, hello everyone. Welcome, welcome.
No.
First,
Scream.
I want to say, if y'all are in here, thank you to everyone who applied for Blood Moon. We have indeed chosen our wonderful players, and they will be announced quite shortly. To those of you who didn't get chosen, don't worry. We have campaigns coming up in the future that we will be looking for players for. So this was not your only chance, I promise. But that being said, I have spoken with our 2 new players, and I am so excited. They are so awesome. I'm so fucking excited. Makeshift, any announcements, anything to say before we get started? Because I'm really excited and I don't want to forget something.
So I just noticed, this is just stream stuff. We should probably turn off our point redeems because I noticed I had 75.8k. And I was like, wait a second. This isn't one of the streams where we do the makeshift rants. And also, we should probably change that to, like, I don't know, makeshift Kermit voice, because I'm not too good at ranting on the spot, I found.
I thought they were all turned
They are
off.
temporarily unavailable.
Okay, good.
Oh,
Then
I
they
can
are
just
turned
use-
off then.
Never mind. I
But
just
I'm
can see that.
definitely switching it to makeshift Kermit voice.
Yeah.
That'll work a lot better,
Yeah.
I think.
DM while Kermit.
DM is Hocus
Yeah.
Crocus. I'm gonna buy you a little wizard hat, and I'm gonna send it to you. And every time that gets
I
redeemed,
just
I'm
figured
gonna
out
make
that
you
I
put
am
it on.
allergic to the next deodorant I tried. I am allergic to everything.
You really are.
There might be some sort of aluminum in that one.
I am breaking out into hives because of the deodorant.
Oof. Well, please
There
take
was
care
no
of yourself.
aluminum.
Okay, that is bad.
Isn't America like the only country that puts aluminum in their deodorant? Or am I just way too Western centric?
It might be. Who knows? That sounds like America.
We
They
do things.
probably also put corn syrup in their deodorant.
I wouldn't be
That's
surprised.
funny.
Yasha,
They
would
put
you like to
glue
eat
in
our
my
deodorant?
toes.
No.
We're already making makeshift
Yeah, I guess.
baseball. Okay. I think that's enough stalling
I
for
am-
now.
I am imagining Kermit, though, describing Fate appearing, like, he reaches one slender hand around the corner and you see him appear.
Oh my god.
Oh, one thing I should say,
It's Joe Biden, he's coming for your children.
Oh no.
I forgot to communicate this detail, but
Okay.
the older gods, or like the some of the first ones that were made, much bigger than Laverton. Laverton's probably the smallest god that's been shown in the story so far, aside from Tanix and Kara and all the humanoid ones. He's like 10 feet tall, by the way. I forgot to mention that.
Oh Jesus, he's a
So-
big boy. Is it
Yeah,
bad
he's
that that's
really
hot?
tall. No, I was imagining him, and I was like, "Am I making him too hot?"
There's no such thing as too hot.
Because
We
they might
making
just
fate
be like-
unfuckable.
The players might just see Fate or like hear the description and be like, I'll
Oh
follow.
no, he's hot.
Can I fuck him?
Can I seduce the god of fate?
We want
We
to
all
fight him,
roll
but
for
can I
seduction.
fuck him?
Correct,
We,
Yasha,
we all
correct.
roll for seduction.
Oh my god.
I don't even know
Anyway.
if Fate
Slay
that
the god
scenario.
of fate, not lay the god of fate.
Shit, I'm bad at reading, really.
My bad, brother. My bad. Alright. I think that's enough lusting over the best villain we've had to date. So let's all put our penises back in our pants, and we're gonna get started on the fucking game.
What if we don't have pants?
There we go.
Makes you gotta like lift with 2 hands, throw
Ah,
it over your shoulder.
Lift with my back.
No, lift with your knees, not with your back. Makeshift. Or wait, is it
He
the
has
other way
to
around?
she is Claymore.
Oh my god.
Anyway, so all your characters are in a
Suddenly
bit of a
die.
pickle right now.
Anyway, rocks fall, you die.
They're in a bit of a fucky wucky, if you ask me.
And so, Where we left off, the recap didn't show this, so for anybody in chat who isn't privy to the ending of the previous session, Fate was basically like, get Maynade, and then he had his wings and feathers pierce into everybody in the party one by one, starting with Azim, and they all got Thanos snapped, and everybody awoke in a reality that seems to be calm, peaceful, and kind of their ideal world. After he was shit-talking them for a hot minute, and then he was like, just get out of here. And everybody in the party has awoken to some ideal world, but we've yet to see Sinead's, which will come into play very soon. And now, I think the best one to start with would be Shanti.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, you ready?
Sure, I can make myself ready. Okay. Ooh, I got this.
Acting.
You just take a quick shot.
Just
You're good to go.
throw it back a bit. Okay. Fucking Christ, I did not realize it would be me so soon. Give me just a second to hold it. Thank you. Okay, we're good. Okay, we're good. Whew.
Word. So, where we left off in your story, you have just bumped into seemingly Elric, but he called himself Joseph when you saw him. And your mother just invited him over for dinner. And they're now kind of like smiling at each other a little bit. He seems a bit like, I guess, sure, if you insist. Like, he's smiling, but you can tell he's a little like, I'm held hostage by social norms right now.
Social convention dictates.
Yes, that is a super sneaky Perry the Platypus reference right there. In that one, I'm going to go on a tangent if I talk about that one scene from Phineas and Ferb. Anyway.
I know what you're talking about, Brilliant.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay,
We're
real
in a
quick.
train.
There's one scene where Dr. Doofenshmirtz invites Perry the Platypus to a diner. Perry the Platypus immediately jumps into his action pose, but he goes, "Wait, look at where we are. We're in a diner. You can't attack me here because it would disturb everybody else's nice meal. Now you're held hostage by social convention, Perry the Platypus."
Oh,
That's all.
how did I forget that one scene?
Hold up.
I remember
that.
Oh my god, how did I forget that? Holy
Perry
shit.
the Platypus, you're that's stuck in conventional norms.
I was making a Sheldon Cooper joke. Holy Phineas and Ferb. Oh my god,
Well,
that was my
Phineas and Ferb.
childhood. Anyway, okay. He's held
So
hostage
anyway.
by social convention.
You see Elric being held hostage by a social convention, and your mother is smiling at him and, saying, "Oh, you should come home with us, have dinner with my daughter.
Oh my god.
Isn't she pretty?"
She's still pretty confused about what's going on, but she's starting to get the feeling that being like, "Where is this? Who are you?" is probably not the best idea. She kind of swallows the nervous and slightly scared energy and turns to her mother and goes, "Mom, we we don't have to invite everyone to dinner. I mean, clearly he's got something else to do. I'm so sorry."
I actually didn't have any plans tonight.
Oh, fuck. Shanti kind of...
See that, Shanti? He's not busy. Oh, come on. I can cook a really nice salad. Alright. Sure. And Elric kind of like looks over at Shanti and he gives like a nervous smile, but he seems like, sure, what's the harm?
She returns the awkward smile and just kind of shrugs her shoulders and is just like, I do not know what's happening. But I'm gonna play along until I figure out what's happening.
And your mother starts walking in the direction that you, for a moment, you're not sure, but then it hits you after a moment. She's walking in a direction that you can feel like your home's in that direction. It feels so familiar. Like this town looks different. It looks more developed, but it's almost like you just know this like the back of your hand now, even though you've never even seen this version of the town.
Holy fuck. Can't believe I have to go from talking about Phineas and Ferb to being, like, terrified Shanti. Jesus Christ. I was not prepared for this character switch. Ooh, okay. Shanti is going to kind of look around a bit, like, stunned. Almost like the way you walk into a really well-themed theme park. Kind of like, whoa, this is really cool. And she will start to follow her mother, but a bit behind. Is Elric following her mom?
He's like right next to her, chatting with her.
Okay.
And as you're walking, you hear her say, you hear him ask Elric, you hear her ask Elric if he has any cooking experience, and he wants something about bananas.
No, bananas. Oh my god. Oh, man, I don't know what to have her do. Okay, she's just gonna continue to follow them from a bit of a distance, switching her view from looking around at the really developed town and being able to recognize areas of it and just be like, why do I know this? But I know it. And also looking at her mother and Elric and just being like, I know this is technically real, but holy shit. So she's just staring at them with wide eyes and a little bit of admiration, kind of just going, oh, this is really cute.
And then you hear as Elric's still talking to her, he's saying something like, they're kind of like a fruit. Sort of. You can't. They need to be kept warm, but they start green, they turn yellow, they turn brown really quickly. But that's actually the best time to make bread out of them. It's a little strange, but they make really good bread. I promise. Is this your own? You see, they both stop walking near a door, and Elric points to look towards a building, and there's a pretty nice, like, stonework house that seems to be 2 stories. The roof seems a bit mossy, but otherwise, like, rather uniform, almost like the moss on top is intentional, and it's pretty well kept. Like, it's nice, and you immediately recognize it as basically just being home.
Oh my god. Giving her a better house, too. Oh. Shanti is going to kind of stop a little ways back and stare at this house like, holy shit, mom got a really nice house. And she's just gonna stare at it and take it in for a second before realizing, oh yeah, this is home. I can't pretend that I've never seen this before. I gotta walk forward. And so she approaches behind them. Just says nothing, just watching them, incredibly confused.
And your mother steps up to the few stone steps of the door towards the door, takes out a key and opens it, and steps inside and waves you both in. For a moment, Elric looks over at you and says, "After you."
Right. And she kind of like bows her head a little bit and walks into the house.
As you enter in, you see a very warm atmosphere. Candles lit here and there, and lots of natural sunlight coming through the windows. And it feels so welcoming. Like you've never seen this place before, but it immediately gives you the feeling of being home and having nothing to worry about. There's a nice smell in the air too, like something's been baking. And you hear Elric walk in behind you, and he also sniffs the air and goes, "Oh, I see you weren't kidding. You already have some bread baking in the air." "Yes, it's a specialty of mine. Baking bread's a bit of an art form." And you see your mother walk over towards the kitchen. "I'll be just a minute. Just take a seat and we'll start eating soon." All right. And Elric looks over to his side and sees a table and just kind of shuffles sideways and sits down on like a bench seat. Like puts his hand on the table and just So, your name is Shanti, correct?
As they were doing that, Shanti was kind of staring around at the home and the candles and decoration, just being like, "Oh my god, she got such a better life now. Like, look at this. This is beautiful." And when he does so things, she kind of like jumps a little bit and turns and looks at him and just goes, "Oh, yes, that's my name."
It's a nice name. Is there any sort of story behind it?
She kind of chuckles and she sets the basket of greens kind of off to the side and goes to stand near the table, and she goes, "Not that I know of, but I do know that in some languages, Shanti means peace, so I guess my mother was hoping for a peaceful child."
Did she get a peaceful child, though?
She kind of smiles a little bit and tilts her head from side to side and just goes, sort of, I guess.
That's what everybody says. And he smiles and seems to relax a little bit more. Then you hear your mother call from the other room and go, "Shanti dear, could you help me with the plates?"
Of course. And she will grab the basket of greens again and walk into the kitchen and set them to the side and hopefully sees the plates when she walks in there.
You do. There's a few plates stacked and ready to be sent to the dining room.
She's gonna gently pick the plates up and take them into the dining room and begin setting the table.
You do that, and as you turn around after picking up the plates, you see that Elric also walked through the doorway, and he holds up one finger and goes, "I'd be glad to help set everything up. I'm actually a bit of a cook myself." "Oh, dearie, if you insist, I'd be glad to have the help." All right. Just point me around to whatever I need to do." And he walks into the kitchen to help grab whatever needs to be set up.
From the dining room, Shanti sets the plates down and she kind of looks up and watches the two of them in the kitchen and is just like, "This is fucking amazing." And she kind of puts her hand over her heart and is just like, She feels this sort of like really loving, like, this is perfect, I don't want to leave this. And is just staring at the two of them in awe.
And as they work and toil this way and that, setting up various plates, it looks like they work with some pretty great efficiency. It seems like Elric has some kitchen experience that I might not have known of. And things are pretty quickly plated up and they bring them into the dining room. And everything's set and ready for a nice dinner.
This sounds so nice. I love this. This sounds so nice. God, where the fuck does she sit?
Do you want to sit down and eat dinner? So I can... If so, I'm just going to time skip to the end of dinner.
Yes, that's what she's gonna do. She's not gonna stop anything. She's just gonna sit down and have a nice dinner with her mother and her lover. That sounds weird.
Who in this world doesn't even know her yet.
Right? Yeah.
And so, you do that, sharing in a nice meal. It's all cooked just like Mom used to make and currently makes. And you'll chat it up for a bit and just talk about how your days have been. And you hear about how Joseph has been. He was kind of just in the area as he was making his way back to Silanoris, and he says he lives back there, but not too far away. But it is a bit of a walk. And then right as dinner is kind of finished winding down, he mentions that, like at the point where he mentions it's a bit of a walk back to Silanoris, your mother then speaks up and goes, well, if it's that much of a walk, you should perhaps just stay here. It's almost dark outside. That's quite alright. I think I'll be perfectly fine. No, that's no time for somebody to be walking in the dark, especially in those woods, young man. Yeah, they can be dangerous to travelers, I've heard.
Shanti's going to eye him out of the corner of her eye and is like, okay, so he probably is still under Leviathan's curse here. Like, this is probably still... He's not Joseph. It's not just Joseph. It's definitely Elric.
Possibly. And so she says, I'll go get the guest room ready for you. I'll be just a minute. Shanti, could you and our guests clean up the table for me while I do so?
Yes, Mama. And she will stand and start gathering things up.
You do that, and your mother walks upstairs to go, presumably prep the guest room. And you and Elric are now just alone in the kitchen, doing some dishes.
She's gonna start washing stuff off the plate, and after a moment, she kind of goes, I'm sorry about her. She always was a pushy one.
I've seen a lot of people who really want to reach out a hand and help over the years. Especially in Silanoris. They're pretty tight-knit. I'm actually pretty well known over there.
I heard something about you, baking bread with bananas. It's pretty rare fruit.
Yeah. Tell me about that. A long time ago, I managed to hear about this recipe involving some tropical fruits. Although, when you think of fruit, you might be picturing like berries or apples. Those are a lot crunchier and sweeter. This is almost like it's like mushy on the inside. It's like you're eating mashed potatoes, but it grows on a tree. If that makes sense.
Mashed potatoes that grow on a tree. That's interesting. Is it sweet or is it tart?
It's a bit sweet, but for most people, I think it's kind of a texture thing. I like them.
Well, have you tried adding chocolate to this recipe? I know chocolate goes well with certain berries.
See him scratch his chin a little bit. That's actually a great idea. Yeah, I'll have to give that a try.
The dark kind, though. Not the one with too much sugar.
Yeah. That would actually perfectly balance out the flavor. Do you do a lot of baking?
I've tried, but I don't really have my mother's hand.
Nice. That might be exactly what I need to beat my longtime rival over in Silanoris' baking competition.
I've heard about that. The baking competition in Silanoris.
Yep. I have lost 3 years in a row.
I'm trying. Jesus Christ, I'm trying to not slip up and say something that's like, oh, I've been there. Fucking
You
Christ.
see Elric looking a little peeved as he recalls Gertrude.
Fucking Gertrude. Oh my god. Longtime rival.
We all stand Gertrude hate in this house.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Longtime rival. It sounds serious.
Yeah. She, I really don't know how she gets so good at baking, or what she keeps doing each year. At this point, I almost think she's bribing the judge. But she's fine, other than that. Although, other people in town might disagree a bit, but we have a bit of a history, so I tend to overlook her other behaviors.
Shanti kind of chuckles a bit and sets some of the clean dishes aside. Well, I wish you good luck. When is it? Maybe I should try and catch it. I've always wanted to see the baking competition.
It's actually coming up pretty soon. Only a few more weeks on that. You see, Elric, it's almost like he loses his train of thought as he gets distracted by something. And like the evening light's like shining in through a window in front of him, and a few beams are kind of giving off that golden glow. You know, that sort of golden hour sunlight.
Oh, I love golden hour.
And he focuses on the windowsill. Give me a perception check.
Oh boy, perception.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
God damn it. Briar, keep your fucking character sheet up. I'm a dingus.
No. I believe in you.
Oh, that's your mistake, honey. Okay,
But
perception.
I'll still do it.
Thanks. Perception. That is a modifier. Okay. Nice. Dirty 21.
Dirty 21.
Mhm.
You notice he's focusing on this kind of small moving spot on the windowsill. And it seems like a ladybug could crawl through the window and was sitting in the sunlight.
Oof. Shanti kind of turns and looks at the ladybug, and then her face just kind of falls, and she remembers her universe, her timeline, and she just kind of looks at it and remembers what Fate had said before he started Thanos snapping people. And her face just falls, and she's like, shit. This isn't my world. And she kind of looks back at Elric and then looks back at the ladybug and is like, I didn't know ladybugs were out right now.
You see Elric, he's still pausing, and he goes, they're actually out of season.
Say that
He
one
just
more
has-
time.
They're actually out of season. He reaches out his hand and, lets the ladybug crawl onto his finger, and he brings it very close to his face. This species isn't typical in this area. It's actually rather rare seeing this. Maybe it's a sign of good luck. Bugs tend to be that. Shanti,
What did I think your mic might have cut out what you said, because the last thing I heard was maybe it's a sign of good luck.
just pause there.
Oh, okay.
You said Shanti
She
as he looks at you.
she kind of snaps her head up and looks away from the ladybug. Just
Is there a reason you seem to be pausing?
oh man. In this moment, she really, really wants to tell him, and she kind of just stares at him for a second, and then looks back at the ladybug. I don't think it's a sign of good luck.
No. A long time ago, Celanorus used to have walls to the north. You can actually still see them if you travel all the way there, but it's a very dangerous trek. The sunlight actually looks a little bit like this. The shadow creeps up on you. Golden light pans across the room. Shanti, and you see it looks like he's tearing up. I had these dreams recently, and I'm not completely certain why, but I've never had dreams like this. They feel so real. Like I'm back in Celanorus, but I feel so alone. And every time that I wake up from that dream, I feel like I've lost something. I don't know what it is. For some reason, when I look at you, I feel like crying.
Oh my god. Shanti kind of tears her eyes away from the ladybug and looks up at him and just, oh, she could feel her heart tightening, and she's Kalistars do have a connection with dreams. If you'd like, I could take a look.
Say so. Reach towards his hand. You can see the ladybug starts to flutter its wings out a bit, and it flies off and goes back towards the windowsill. And Elric kind of pulls his hand back and goes, sorry, I just haven't slept well recently. Just don't think about it much. Hospitality. I'll be heading to bed now. And
She bows her head gently and just, sleep well, and turns her back to him.
he turns and walks away. But as he turns for just a moment, he says, "Oh, I forgot to mention. I'm actually an author.
An author?
Yes, published in multiple libraries.
What did you write? I might have read it at some point. I frequent the library quite often.
Uh, um, it's the field guide to Life in Silnoris. I'm actually the author behind it.
That's
And
why I recognize the name. I have read that before.
your mother must have read it as well, since well, she seemed to understand the dangers of Silnoris.
Perhaps.
Shanti,
Yes. And she will reluctantly turn to face him.
he takes a step. He stands still and takes a deep breath. I never signed my name as Joseph in those books.
Shit! Fuck! Fuck, 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 fuck. Shanti's eyes go wide and she just... fuck.
So why is it that you recognize my name from the initial?
Is there any chance I can hear if Mom is still upstairs doing shit?
Give me a perception check.
Thank you. Oh, Jesus. 15. Yeah. It's a 15.
You can hear some walking upstairs, so it seems like she might still be busy.
Shanti stares at him, and the first time she's getting a little bit afraid now, and she's like, that's very difficult to explain. I swear to God, I'm not stalking you or anything like that. It's much more complicated.
Must be. Well, stalking me will be a very difficult affair.
I'm aware.
All ears if you'd like to explain. Oh, just a moment. You hear your mother walking down the stairs, and she goes, "All right, it's all set and ready for sleeping in. Take your time coming upstairs. I'll be in my room." Thank you. Again. Havana. And she walks back upstairs.
Shanti
Shanti,
follows her with her eyes, and then looks back at him.
Shanti, would you mind if we spoke outside?
That's probably a good idea.
You do that, and he walks towards the front door and quietly opens it. And he calls up the stairs and calls to Ivana that he just wants to get a bit of fresh air. And then he walks outside into the dim evening light.
Shanti follows him, and she clasps her hands behind her back and just... She's gripping her own hands tightly, needing something to ground her in the moment, because she's just going, shit, 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 fuck, fuck, fuck.
And as he steps outside, he's like, let's walk and talk a little bit.
She wouldn't do this at the moment, but I really want to make a break your bones joke. I'm not going to, because it wouldn't make sense. She kind of nods her head and follows him, putting a couple of feet of distance between them because she doesn't want him to reach out and try to break her bones. So she'll walk beside him, safe distance.
He keeps his hands in his pocket and he just goes, "So, what's the story? Sneaking into my dreams or something?"
Oh, God. Technically, no. Only the once, but not yours. Fuck. She kind of turns her head to look at him a little bit and just goes, "How much do you know about the God of Fate?"
He takes a breath, seeming a little bit worried. "Well, I know the old stories about how he'd turn up at a crack in his face, something like that. Aside from that, not too much is known about them, just supposedly they have wings, large, and they are very, very powerful."
6 wings. He has 6 wings. And yes, they are very large.
Elric stops walking, and he turns and looks at you. Kind of, he's got like the setting sun behind him as you're walking down a slope. "How'd you know that?"
She takes a deep breath and she looks at him and then she looks around and then focuses back on him and goes, "I'm not the Shanti of this reality, I guess. Several months ago, something hit Vestia's shield, broke it, and energy began pouring out. Ever since then, myself and several others have been in search of several stones to help essentially stop our reality from being destroyed. In that reality, I have met you, and I have met many other gods. Recently, we just came across the God of Fate, and her hand kind of shakes a little bit, because that was a fucking intimidating creature. Before any of us could do anything, he stabbed his wings at us and sent us somewhere. And she kind of swallows, remembering watching Brock just poof out of existence. I saw all of my friends disappear before my eyes.
And this happened just recently.
The first thing I remember of this world is bumping into you. So, yes, incredibly recently.
Look very concerned. Good Lord. Picking a fight with the God of Fate. I never thought I would hear somebody tell me that.
We didn't pick a fight with him. He showed up out of nowhere. Trust me, if we didn't have to fight him, we wouldn't.
I just need to be certain. Tell me why Norris doesn't have walls.
She looks up at him and she locks eyes with him and just goes, "Because of you."
You see him stammer backwards immediately and cover his mouth. So what then? He sent you here as some kind of prison.
What a wonderful prison it is.
It's a world in which my actions have still occurred.
Yes.
And this is no wonderful prison.
You'd be surprised.
As you're talking, you see more ladybugs are starting to like flutter towards all of you, and it doesn't seem like Elric is noticing these ones, as again they seem to land on his neck and form these kind of like loose assemblies of tendrils away from him. Shanti, I don't entirely know who you are, but I keep dreaming about you. I'm looking at you right now. You are.
Repeat that
I
one more
don't.
time. It cut you off.
Said, whoever you are, I don't think you can stay here. If it's what the god of fate wants, you can't be allowed to succeed.
She kind of tears up a little bit and nods her head. I know. I was hoping to prolong my turn just a little bit longer.
The sun sets behind Elric and the lights very clearly left the world. You can feel this, like in your chest, it almost feels like there's something tugging on you, and you see this kind of glassy shimmer in the air that looks to be a chain leading from you to Elric.
Ouch. She kind of looks at it for a second and then looks back at Elric. Promise me something.
Did that go through? He said,
Yeah, apparently it didn't go through. She looks at the chain, looks back at Elric, and just promise me something.
what is it?
Come see this one again. I think you might be good for her, as well as she for you.
You say so, Sean.
I don't know what to do. Do I have to say something? Like,
And as you say that to him, the chain on you seems to become more unstable, and it's almost like it's giving some slack to you as you say these things. And the world around you feels less stable, almost. It's like there's this kind of hum in the air, and you can feel the sensation from behind you, like sort of like sunlight hitting you from behind, and feeling the warmth on your back.
can I touch the chain?
Yeah, go for it.
I'd like to reach for the chain and see if I can grasp it.
You do that, and as you pull on it, the slack that seems to have given you, it's sort of like you're pulling something out of muddy water. As you grab it, it kind of like lets out a little more.
Oh. I'm gonna just keep yanking at it. I want it out. I don't.
As you pull on it again, the world around you becomes sort of blurry and hazy, and as you pull more and more, it starts to pull out faster. And then, as it feels like you're about to pull something out of your chest cavity, you awaken in a bright flash of light in a place you recognize. Don't recognize. Whoopsie, you're just here. And then, Brock.
Oh,
You there,
fuck.
Yasha? Oh,
Yeah. I have myself muted that way cats wouldn't interrupt.
oh, word. You hear some voices from the other side of that door, and you got the whole family crest thing on top of the door, and this is seeming interesting, you know? You got this nice room, your family crest put on things.
Ah. Okay, hold up. I did put on clothes. Shanti did call me for breakfast. Right?
Yes.
I'll take a little moment just to stall myself. Like, take a deep breath in, take a deep breath out. And with slightly shaking hands, I will stand up and move to the door. Like, put my hand on the handle and, like, wait a couple more seconds, being like, fuck. I am not ready for what's behind this.
And as you're pausing, you hear Shanti's voice again call up to you, and she says, oh, sorry, I need to go get something from the store. I'll just leave breakfast on the table for you. I'll be right back in a minute. Brock, there's somebody at the door for you.
I'm coming. What the fuck?
It's
You're good, no worries. And with that, I will open the door to my room.
that, and you're greeted with a wall and a hallway, which it constructs.
That was just a wall behind that door, my man.
On the other side of a hall, there's a wall. And it looks to be carved out of solid stone, looking really nice.
Fuck. It's just the hallway, right?
Indeed. There's a hall, and there's some light coming from one end of it.
I will slowly walk down the hall, like trailing the stone a bit. I have an inkling of what, or rather, who carved it, like whose carving style is this. But can I investigate that while I'm walking down the hall?
Give me an investigation check.
All right. Stone cutting is active for that. Investigation.
Some good investigation.
Yep, that is a dirty 24.
You immediately recall that although you didn't hand carve the entirety of this, you have a strong sense that, like, you did a lot of the work of carving it, and there was some sort of collaborative effort going into the design of it, some of the bulk work that was going on. This is like your house. You helped build this thing. Well, you did like a lot of work for it.
Oh, fuck. All right. And I will continue to move forward towards the opening where the light is.
And as you walk down the hall, you agree with the staircase, and the light seems to be flooding up from downstairs. And I assume you walk down the stairs.
Yes, indeed. Again, hands across the entirety of the stairwell. Also, not touching everything, but like occasionally here and there looking at a detail.
As you look around, you see it's almost like each little thing that you look at kind of like brings back to mind the sensation of like fondness, of being proud of each and every detail that you put into this building. And as you walk down the stairs, you see there's a dwarf who's standing at the door, and he's kind of it looks like he's looking at somebody who's like outside the door, and it's probably that Shanti had like walked out of the building and started walking. And the dwarf looks over at you and goes, sorry to have disturbed you. I see you are up in the wee hours.
Ah, yes. Just woke up myself. No worries. Say, what brings you to my home this early?
Let's have a seat. Do you mind if any gestures over at like some seats at the table?
Oh, please.
Thank you.
Go help yourself.
He shuts the front door and walks over to it and just kind of. Tired legs first thing in the morning.
You tell me.
He looks over at a wall. Every time I see those things, absolutely beautiful. And he points over at this alcohol collection you have, which is like these kind of odd-looking bottles that seem like the top half is this kind of amorphic clay shape, whereas it has like a midsection that looks more like glass, and then the bottom is more clay. And it's like this.
I think I know which ones you mean.
And it's like this gradient of like lighter to darker, where the lightest one almost seems like it's glowing. And even like the two next to it seem to be glowing as well. And it looks a lot like the liquid you got, or that alcohol you got from underneath the mountain when you like met the dragon people.
Oh. Hello, cat. Yes, you are indeed adorable. Give me just 1 second. My attention is being demanded. Yes, you get pets. Yes. And goodbye. Sorry. I will look at the bottles as well. Look back at them. I know it's early, but do you want to try? You want to try one?
One goes, you're made from fungus. How about that? Absolutely.
A man to my liking. And he will stand up. Get some glasses. Not the biggest glasses. Smaller ones. It's early in the morning. We're not going to get that drunk yet. Put them down on the table and get some of the bottles with the ripe alcohol. I'll get one of the bottles. And pop it open. And say... and he'll take a little bit of a whiff of just the smell of it.
It has an odd smell, but not one that like knocks you back like it did when you first smelled it. It's very unusual, but it does invoke a kind of almost nostalgia in you at this point.
Oh god, I'm a drunk tart here. Fuck. I love this stuff. And I'll pour both a glass. And put the bottle back on the table, pop the cork back in. And put like one of the glasses on his side of the table, the other one I'll just grab in my hand and sit back down.
He picks up,
raise it to a little bit of a toast. Like in his direction.
He raises it as well. He clanks his cup against yours.
Oh, fucker, you know, I gotta get something to drink as well. I saw you into the camera.
God damn.
So,
Are we all drinking?
that is a delightful taste.
Poisons.
So, about my visit. It's just, I'm nervous. I figured I'd swing by and ask for any advice you might have. I've, going in for an interview in Vestia soon to, demonstrate one of my inventions.
Oh, Vestia.
Yeah. And I don't know. I hope they're able to see the potential in it, or at least just not laugh me out of the capital.
See, I get why you're nervous. Vestia is... Oh, they have some good stuff there. I've seen some of... I'm not even sure what they are. Mechs? They've been using? Some of the heavy-duty equipment.
Some stuff.
That's some top-notch gear. However, I did also manage to get to talk with some of the dwarves there. And let me tell you, while most of Vestia is known for being stuck up their arse, I'm not gonna lie. I'm assuming you're applying at the artificer skills?
Of course. Only place I would ever want an invention like this. Unless, I don't know. That is a good amount of martial capabilities to it, but it's not the fastest thing in the world. Besides,
See.
I probably would make a good warrior myself.
See, from all I've heard, the Artificers Guild are just like every other Builder's Guild out there. They're all makers. Yes, they handle a lot more, how do you say it? Money-intensive projects. And they want to make sure that the people they get are good and are proper and will make sure that, you know, they get their work done. But they also appreciate work. So as long as you don't insult them, I'm sure you'll be just fine. What does your invention do, anyway?
Blessed. Finally got a prototype working properly. Nearly had me sent into a panic attack, thinking about how I was going to get this thing done. But I got it working.
And he like reaches to his side and pulls off a backpack. And he kind of hoists it up and gently puts it on the table, but the table, you can hear it creak just a little bit under the weight of this thing. He like pulls a rope off the top of it and like pulls it back down. And you see this big cylinder looking thing that he kind of like flips another side of it up, and it kind of like puts this pipette on top.
You see, it's meant to be a sort of cannon that just one person can wield. Doesn't shoot particularly large ammo, but it gets the job done pretty well.
A small cannon. And he will kind of investigate a little bit, making sure to not like mess with it too much, but like trying to get around just a little bit. Those do pack a punch. But you say you managed to scale it down whilst you managed to scale it down whilst keeping a lot of the power of it. That's impressive.
It does have a kick to it, but I don't know. I suppose I'm just worried it might they might look at it and just say it's just another cannon. Not to mention, since Dioriona stopped expanding like it used to, things haven't been quite the same. Better, don't get me wrong, but it's just, I'm not sure the artificers there have as much respect for the engineers here.
Okay. Fuck. I remember I have the blueprints of the gun. Or like I saw the gun myself. Fuck.
Yep.
Would I be able to recall if this would work the way it is?
Absolutely.
Does it?
Wanna give investigation check?
Alright.
Involving pulling the trigger.
Without pulling the trigger. Sure, I'll add Flash of Genius to it. That is an 11. Oh god.
Kind of at it, and you hear him go,
Careful, Brock, that's...
and then you like flick a part of it that looks a little like you remember it, and immediately it like and shoots something up the ceiling and leaves like a very clear dent in the stone.
I'll repair that for you.
I will look at it very much shocked for like a second just of the explosion itself. And then I will look at the damage. Like, how deep did it go?
The stone of this building, you recall, is extraordinarily like well carved and strong, but it put a dent in that like a few centimeters deep. Like that thing was packing a punch for some object that seems so small.
I'll look at it. I'll put a hand on his, taking a side that shouldn't have brought here armed. That's impressive. That's a lot of damage. Fuck. I said it and I realized mid-sentence the fucking reference. No, that's a lot of damage.
Great, Brock, think so? Perhaps this is the start of Doldrum the Great. It's engineering works.
Oh, I am sure it is. And this is just a prototype, you said?
Yeah, needs a bit of work. Most of the casing is meant to protect from a kind of small explosion inside of it that launches the object. But it could probably be lighter. I just have to make sure it stays safe.
Oh, Vestia will definitely want that kind of project. I would definitely want to have someone that knows its way around it.
Yeah, like clicks something on it and like folds it back down and puts the bag back over it to wrap it up.
Now then, that's really all I had. Just wish me luck.
Good luck. What the fuck did he say was his name again?
Doldrum.
Doldrum. Good luck, Doldrum. You got this, buddy.
And when you say Doldrum out loud, an idea shoots through your head and you remember exactly where that name comes from. Which is, this is the guy from the other, like, from your reality, who caused the landslide.
Fucker. Oh, you motherfucker.
And he starts to, like, finish up the drink that you poured for him.
I'll kind of grasp my drink a little bit tighter, look at it, and take one more swig up, like take a swig as well. I just think to myself, he does not seem like a bad guy here. And put it back down.
So, you first.
When is your interview?
I'll, tomorrow. I just have to make the trip over to Vestia and stay the night. That's the next day.
Alright. I'd better not keep you waiting then.
I was wondering if you might know anything about, oh, this is gonna sound strange, but you're one of the smartest people I know. Didn't know who else to ask about this, so. Do you know anything about dreams?
And Brock will kind of chuckle and like ease up on his tension just a little bit and say, a little bit, but the expert for that is a beautiful Shanti that you caught on the way out a minute or so ago.
I didn't want to bother her with, this, figured I should keep this between, us men.
Fair enough. What you got?
I keep having these, they're not even really dreams, well, whenever I sleep, it's like all I see is this kind of darkness.
And when he says that, you feel a tugging in your chest that kind of appears. You see a shimmer in front of you that looks a bit like the pattern of like a glass chain with the light catching it. It continues.
Sometimes when I'm awake, I don't know, it's like I catch these glimpses of something. I feel like I might just not have been sleeping well recently.
Yes. I guess it's probably anxiety. I'll have a big day tomorrow after all. I wouldn't worry about it too much. Some dreams can mean something, yes, but especially in troubling times. Some dreams are just dreams.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the drink.
Always.
I'll be on my way now.
And he picks up his bag with the rifle in it, and he walks the door and exits. Oh,
I was gonna say, I stand up as well and accompany him to the door and just say, safe travels and good luck.
he gives you a nod and starts walking.
Alright. With that. Oh, fuck. I'll, with the door firmly in my hand, as like the one thing that's keeping me from just punching something right now, I'll watch a little as he walks away, and then look a little bit around to see if Shanti has already made her way back.
You're in sight. She's probably still at the store at this point. You do know that is a bit of a like Quick was kind of like before breakfast gets cold, I guess, kind of, Or not before breakfast gets cold, I guess.
I'll go to the store real quick. Yes, woman. Real quick. Nothing.
Oh, bite me.
Do what? what?
Just a little jab at how long women take to shop. Nothing serious.
I'm gonna lock you in your basement.
Poor purple.
Ooh.
Anyway. Right, breakfast is still there.
Yeah.
I'll walk back to the table, grab another swig of what is probably an almost empty glass at this point, and see what is for breakfast.
Looking like some nice sausage, eggs, and mashed potatoes.
Oh, fuck yeah. No, I'm hungry. Is there enough for 2 plates?
There is actually another plate set kind of adjacent to, not like across from you. It's like a little to the side. But it seems like that one's, it's got less sausage, but more eggs and mashed potatoes.
Oh, so they're already plated. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Let me check real quick. Little spell list. No, nothing to keep anything warm. Sad. I'll sit down and like grab fork and knife, look at the food and just, well, breakfast. And start eating.
You do
slowly.
that, chowing down into a delicious meal, and each bite is such like a pleasant feeling of like that quality home cooking, and it reminds you of Shanti's cooking as well. And as you're digging in, taking bite after bite, you see something cross your vision. As like a streak of light makes its way through the window. You recall that your house is actually quite close to the doors of Diriona. The sun is starting to set outside, or starting to rise outside. My bad, this is breakfast.
Breakfast.
The sun's starting to rise outside, and you see some ladybugs start to like walk across the counter. They're marching across in front of you. And then they take... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I just look at the ladybugs.
And then they take flight. And they fly and they go around the corner, like back towards the hallway that you came from with the staircases. And when they fly that way, you almost hear this noise that kind of reminds you of the parabola. Just for a moment, like a little blip. Like how a droplet of water might remind you of a lake.
How far am I with my breakfast?
You're probably like 1/3, 1/4 of the way into it, I want to say. If you're reading slowly.
I'll look over to the staircase. I recognize that sound. Hello, other cat. You two are needy today. Jesus. And I fed you earlier. I know I did.
It's like Pokemon. Just put on like some repellent spray.
God damn. No, that is my food. Stop sniffing that. God, I am so sorry.
Talking to the ladybugs inside inside the world. Eating breakfast, ladybugs, gross germs.
Gross germs in my breakfast. Fuck off. No.
I'm imagining Brock seeing those, taking his fork and just thump, thump, thump.
More
Jesus
protein.
Christ. Ew! Please don't eat the fucking ladybugs.
Oh my
Fuck
god.
you, Fate. I'm eating these now.
Thanks for breakfast, chump.
Thanks
Sounds
for
like-
breakfast, fuck nuts.
Sounds like something Corpus would do. Oh my god.
Oh look, you provide me with a protein for my protein shake.
Ooh. Anyway, so you hear some noises coming from the staircase where those ladybugs just flew off to, and they sound very eerie and they remind you of the parabola.
I'll take a look back at my breakfast. Somewhat disappointed I cannot finish it. Like, take a words. Sigh once, and like put the cutlery back down. Oh, goodbye, cat. And stand up, make my way back to the staircase.
Do that, and you hear more. There's some strange noise. You can't quite put your finger on it, but it's leading you back to your room.
I will follow the noise.
You do. You keep going. You keep going, and you're around the corner, and you see your bed again. And it seems like there's more ladybugs sort of fluttering around the foot of your bed where the emblem of your family was.
I will touch the emblem. No, he will reach out and like trace parts of the emblem.
As you do that, you feel the chain on you kind of like ease up. It's almost like it disappeared. You trace your fingers across and the ladybugs seem to stay chilling on it. Then, in the corner of your vision, you see some like flickering lights.
I will go. I will turn around and look. What are those lights?
You turn around and it's almost like these specks of dust in the air are becoming illuminated as they like flutter about. You know how like when the light catches the air, dust gets visible and it's gross looking? It's sort of like that, but they're starting to get much brighter. And
You just managed to fall on your face. What?
and
Hey!
you can hear something.
My cats are fighting.
It's almost like you can hear somebody talking through water. And you give me a perception check.
I am so fucking sorry. Anyway.
So give me a perception check.
Okay.
Now that you've thrown the cats against a wall very hard.
That
Just
is a
kidding.
dirty
Hey.
23.
Just kidding, chat. That you did not do that. Dirty
No,
20.
I did not do that. I just yelled at him for a little bit.
Whew. From this area behind you, it seems like these little lights are starting to gather and become a bit more intense and bright, and you can hear something. It almost sounds like you can hear Shanti's voice speaking to you from a great distance. Like they're calling out to you and their voice is muffled by water.
What direction is the voice coming from?
The opposite direction of the emblem on the bed. It's like you're standing between the ladybugs and the lights, and it's coming from this way, the lights.
I will go towards the light.
You do that, and you feel it tugging on your chest, and you see that chain appear again, but it's almost like it's like loosening up a bit, like you're stuck in clay rather than stone.
I'll just look at the bed itself for just a moment, and just say, "You lucky bastard." And can I feel where the chain is? Like, can I try and grab it?
Yes, you can feel the chain coming out of the center of your chest.
I will attempt to pull it out.
You do that, gripping it real hard and really pulling on it. And as you do, it starts to become easier and easier and easier. And as it starts to give more and more slack, you can hear Shanti's voice more and more clearly coming from this area behind you with the lights. And right as it feels like you're about to pull something out of your chest, for a moment, your vision's overtaken by light, but you swear you could almost see what looked to be a hand reaching out to you from home. And then, Shanti, you,
Hi.
Actually, wait, I should say this. Should we go on break right now?
No.
So we've been going. No, okay.
Unless you need a break?
Oh no,
I
I'm just.
expect everyone to have taken their shits and pisses and grabbed their food while the other people were talking.
Oh, okay.
I'm
I was just looking at the clock, and I
daggers
usually
at
say.
everybody.
I usually just say it. Okay.
Look, I took a speed run of 3 minutes of that fastest shit, you know? But, yeah.
All right. So unless Makeshift needs a break, we're not taking a fucking break.
Oh god. And so, you reach in. In front of you was this kind of glowing cocoon-looking thing with these like feathers draped about it, and you could sense that this is the one that had Brock's like inside of it. And as you reach into it, calling out for Brock, you can feel something grab your hand as you pull and you pull, and all of a sudden, in one motion, as this bubble thing kind of disappears and goes dark, Brock is blorped out of it, and you pull him into back into the realm you were in.
All right. Well, yeah,
Not
I
back to
yank him
reality.
through. I help him blorp out of it, whatever that verb is. I don't know how to. Anyway.
Such a deep reverb noise as that happens.
And as you both look around, you can see you're in this area that looks like it did before. The water is. It's hard to look at the ground beneath you. You remember this is where you came from when you got stabbed by fate. But now you're both back here, and there's these glowing cocoon things around you. And it looks like the sky and everywhere you look is just overtaken by feathers and wings that seem to span across all of the entirety of your visual spectrum.
Is fate anywhere to be seen?
As you take a quick glance around, you can see, not too far off, it seems like the wings kind of reach down from the sky in this sort of tornado spiral and wrap down into this one cocoon at the base of it. And if you had to guess, that's probably where he is.
Okay. Yasha, you were saying something?
Yeah. Brock will stand up, groan a bit, and just say, "Ah, fucking bastard."
Have fun.
I wish I did.
May as well.
I got to see a perfect world, but the only one I met was someone I don't want to ever meet again.
I'm sorry to hear that. I think
Mm.
I've only been here and back for a little bit, but I have a feeling that whatever these... And she, like, waves her hands around the cocoon thingy. Because I think whatever these are, that's what they're all... I don't know. I don't want to say trapped in, but trapped in.
Oh. Let's hope they can make it back.
Well, he seems to be focused over there, so... I don't know what to do at this point. You know what? Actually, I do know what to do at this point. For a moment, she's looking over at where Fate's wings are doing big spirally tornado thingy, and she looks back at Brock, and then she hugs him.
He will most definitely hug her back.
You do that, and it do be a good old hug.
And nearby you see 3 more of those cocoons. And you can only assume that the others are still stuck inside of those.
I'm going to release the hug, walk over to one of them, the closest cocoon, and I want to try to touch it. I want to knock on it.
And you get this feeling that something inside of it, it almost reminds you, it feels like this might be Zendil inside this one.
You think we can help them somehow?
I don't know. I can't think of a way to... God damn it. I can't think of a way to help. I don't want to try ripping it open with a weapon. That just sounds like a bad idea.
Mother, like...
Oh my god!
You can hear Zendil talking inside.
He's just
Oh,
Bleak
yes.
Talker.
This is definitely Zendil, but I don't want to try...
Not the cough syrup.
Ay,
Not
Dios
the
mío.
cough
Am I good? Am I good?
You are good,
Okay.
as Zendil says in his sleep.
Oh my god. She turns back to Brock and looks at him and goes, I don't want to try stabbing it or hitting it. I don't want to risk damaging them if they even are inside. I don't know what to do.
And then Brock will just look around, remembering that Doldrum said something about a dark void in his dreams. Realizing this is a very dark void we're in. And just say, the person I met there said something about dreams that sounded eerily like this place. Maybe we can reach him that way.
I can try. I would like to put my hand on the cocoon, and I want to see if I can do anything with my dream magic.
Before she even touches it, I will just grab her hand and just stay by her side, looking at the cocoon as well. Not interrupting her, just be there.
You
Oh
do
my
that.
God, cat.
So one more time, what do you do when you touch it?
I would like to try and see if my dream magic, my connection, can do anything. Can it reach into whatever Zendil's going through? Can I don't know, telepathically send him a little dream message like, you're in a coma for 30 years, wake up?
What does the numbers mean, my son?
If you're watching this, you're been in coma for the past 30 years. We are trying new methods of reaching you. Please, this is your mother. Wake up.
The numbers
Like,
mentioned.
I turn around and like it's just Brock's face on my mother's body. I'm like, what the hell?
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
Wake up! Wait, where am I?
And so, Zendil,
Yay.
as you are standing in the fields of these like varied crop squares, where it seems like there's a lot more unusual styles of farming going on in the Golden Plains.
Mhm.
You've got these. You see your mother, or seemingly your mother, walking towards you in the distance. She's like waving you over.
And as I recall, what I did before was the second I recognized her, I hesitated and stepped back, not knowing, halfly knowing, this might be an illusion. As I last recalled, I was being tentacle yoinked by Dr. Fate over there,
Ooh.
and
Dr. Fate.
no, by sorry, brain dead. I know. The God of Fate.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah, by the God of Fate. And as I slowly recoiled, is that the part where I hear something, or
Yeah, you get this strange sensation, like kind of this humming in the air for a moment, but it goes away after a second, and things seem ordinary again. And your mother, she's calling over to you. She's getting closer, and she's getting closer. She's getting closer. Eventually, she's up close to you, and it's like, Zendil, my bad, Zendil, dear. Glad you're awake, just in time for the festival.
the festival?
Yes,
What
the Harvest
festival?
Festival. The Harvest Festival, don't you remember?
No, I don't understand. You're not supposed to be here. I
Yes,
saw you.
That's because I'm supposed to be at the festival and I knew you'd oversleep again. So, I came to come wake you up. We're supposed to be at the festival right now.
Yeah, perhaps I am. I shall accompany you to the festival, Mother.
Thank you, Zendil. And she turns and starts walking back. Now come on, we've got a lot of crops we need to display. I feel like this year I'm going to win.
I follow her as Zendil turns away for a brief moment, wondering what that humming was, as he follows Mother after.
You do that.
No, I
And
do
as
that,
you
sure.
As you continue to walk, occasionally you'll see people who are like inside these various farming areas, and then plenty of them seem to be giving you waves and calling you by name, saying, "Hey, Zendil, how you doing?" A few people who speak a language you don't understand seem to do the same. And they
I
also
wave hesitantly, like confused, but just waving back.
You do that, and yeah, the Golden Plains are looking like they've been great. They're doing incredible.
Been prospering.
And after like 20 minutes of walking, you can see town square coming into view.
See, what do I see around? Is this people walking, enjoying the festival? Or is that where the festival is at?
You see a lot of like ribbons and flags and decorative things waving in the wind in this town square that you don't really recall being here before, but as you look at it now, you start to recall the sensation of people who live here started to form this city back when you were a bit younger, and it's grown rather independently of Mortail Bay. It seems like the people who live here actually own the land that they live on.
Now you know this is a fantasy setting because I live in America.
I'd say Zendil wanders around the festival or around the town square, just trying to well, I guess he wanders as he's trying to make sense of things, as he really feels something isn't right. But at the same time, he's not quite sure what it is or what's wrong. The whole place feels familiar, but at the same time, not really.
And as you enter into town square, people stop like greeting you because they recognize you, but it's also because they seem a bit more busy now. There's still a few stray people who call out your name and wave to you before getting back to prepping their stalls. And your mother stops walking when she reaches this one pretty large wooden crate that's displaying these like nicely grown fruits and veggies. Like they're looking 10 out of 10, perfectly
They're
grown.
looking juicy.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like, all right. I don't think anybody else has been able to grow watermelon as well as I have this year. I think that alone might win it for me.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? Like,
She said, I don't think anybody else has been able to grow watermelon as well as I have this year. I think that alone might win it for me.
Zendil hesitantly asks if Mother has been farming for the past few months.
Well, yes,
Trying to,
I've been farming, and I've been farming with you, Zendil. And as she says that, you swiftly recall memories of what feels like you've been working on a farm in a pretty quiet life. Putting your magic to good use as it helps you fertilize the land quite easily.
Oh my god, it is an alternative universe. Okay. I'd say Zendil is confused. Isn't he always at this point? But Zendil would start to wonder, where are the others? Where are Shanti, Brock, Azim, Sinead? I ask Mother these questions, as memories of this life and and the one he had moments ago before getting yoinked would, cloud and collide with each other.
Be a little conflicting.
Oh, it is.
And as you start to ask her about this, you feel this tugging sensation in your chest like a chain. And you feel like this, like, you can see this chain that looks like it's made of glass and the light's catching it. It's starting to show coming out of your chest.
Chest? Where's the chain pointed towards? Like, it's from my chest to this.
It doesn't seem to point towards anything. It just kind of comes to an end, like it drops in front of you. But you can feel a very strong firmness to it whenever you think
Like a
about
pull.
Yeah.
Or grip. Start to investigate that chain. Is it tangible?
You reach up and you
try
touch
to
it.
reach for it. I reach out and try to touch it and not pull on it.
You do that, and as you give it a pull, it shows a tautness and like it points towards your mother.
Sir?
She goes, Zendil, are you alright?
So what is this chain? Do you see this light attached to me?
Zendil, what are you talking about?
As I say that, I try to get closer to Mother. And
You
I'm
do
like,
that.
as if I'm like pulling to. I can't touch it, right? It's not tangible, or
No, you can touch it.
oh, I
Yeah.
can touch it. So okay, let's
Yeah.
make sure. Yeah, I pull towards it. I like rodeo lasso, whatever, pulling something. But yeah, I reel it in, just and
You
like
do
showing
that.
it there. Like, do you not see this?
She
It's
looks into
glowing
your
around my
hands,
hand.
and she just goes, I don't know what you're talking about, Zendil. You're just holding the air.
Sounds like I'm the only one who can see it. And where are the others?
Zendil, you are probably still half asleep at this point. Here, I know we'll wake you up right away. How about we go see the others and do some dancing? And she like guides your hands and like points you away from like the stall that was behind her, and now behind her is like this festival of people like dancing. They're, I don't know, doing the Cotton Eye Joe or something. They're
Cotton Eye
grooving.
Joe.
They're doing their
I'm
thing.
sorry. The
know what?
fucking what?
Yeah, okay. Still not knowing what is happening, not fully aware of what's happening. Zendil goes to the dance floor
Oh no.
You do
and
that.
starts doing the gritty.
Oh my god.
You see your mother just doing, I don't know, some square dancing, something a little more traditional than the gritty.
The gritty really shows that I'm not from this world.
I hate this.
You start dancing, and you see a few other young lads of similar age to you, and a few like much younger kids start to like mimic your dance moves. They seem to like it.
No.
Don't worry, I don't either. And I'm doing it.
Neither do I, chat. I don't know.
I don't know, but Scrooge me doing it.
I
Scrooge me
found
doing
it.
I have no idea.
I found what the gritty is. It is.
Yeah.
It's the
Here, let me look that up.
celebration dance of a specific NFL player. It is
Yeah.
a
Is
move.
that-
It is a move where a person alternatingly taps their heels either in place or while walking, while swinging their arms back and forth. Created by high school footballer Alan Davis in 2018, his dance went viral on TikTok in 2021.
So you want to
Mr. O'Gabber, why don't you show us what the gritty is?
visualize
Oh,
that. The town square,
Oh,
the
great.
dance hall, Zendil and some kids doing the gritty.
I just googled it and saw a video of the football player. It's just he's like swinging his arms forward and back at the same time while kind of like hopping.
Hopping, yeah.
Hold on. I'll put
Do it on my
side
camera.
chat.
1 second.
Oh my god.
No.
I mean, you're gonna see how bad my room is, but he's kind of just like hop, 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 and he's doing this.
Oh my god, Batman, he's doing the gritty. He's doing the gritty, Batman.
Oh my god.
We have brought Subarus into this world. We have now
Is it
brought
named
the
after a
gritty.
McGriddle?
The gritty.
I put it in side chat just so y'all know what it looks like. You're doing the gritty, Batman. Doing the gritty.
So yeah, you start doing that dance move, and some people see it. They kind of mimic you. They remix it into what they're doing. People are having a great time, dancing around. As you're looking around, the tightness in your chest from the chain, it starts disappearing. As you start doing the gritty dancing, and you see this, you know those poles with like the ribbons tied around them, and all the kids run in a circle around them.
A maypole?
Tie it. Yes.
Oh wait, a what?
It's a.
What's it
It's called
called?
a maypole. It's usually traditionally used in
maypole.
like spring festivals. You basically dance around it,
Understood.
and as you're dancing, you're holding a ribbon. And the more the people dance, the more the ribbon gets braided around the maypole. And
Oh,
when it's
I
over,
see
it's
it.
all pretty.
Okay.
It's like volleyball if it was an MMORPG,
Oh my
It was
gosh.
an MMORPG.
where you share one pole with a bunch of strings.
Okay.
And
I see it.
so,
Yeah, spinning around it. Okay.
as you see this group of kids dancing around it,
Okay.
the music around you seems to, like, the music kind of like starts drowning out. You can't seem to like hear anything quite as well anymore, and the tightness in your chest starts to return to you. It almost feels like you can only hear the chain as it rattles gently in the wind, and you can see the ribbons keep passing over and over in this kind of hypnotizing pattern. And beyond it, as the ribbons kind of like move downward and like the sort of chaos of the colors swirling around disappears, you can see the people who are standing behind it. There's some crowd of parents who seem to be watching, but then just beyond them, as the ribbons disappear, you see this hooded figure far beyond it. And then, as the sound of the rattling gets stronger, and all the world seems to be silent around you, you can see slowly spreading from behind them and starting to peek up above the heads of the people around them are these bright crimson wings. And the eyes of this person seem to be missing.
Oh no.
Oh no. As Zendil's face was somewhat lost, and as I enjoying the moment of doing the gritty, his face breaks into confusion and shock as the music distorts and drowns. As he feels the chain and starts to visualize it once more, he sees the hooded figure. And do I recognize this? Okay. Now Zendil, I say, cautiously approaches the hooded figure. Do I recognize it, or can I see anything?
You immediately recognize the image of the goddess of rot. And in her hand, it seems like she's holding something bright, something that's glowing. And she opens it up, and between the fingers, you can almost see what looks to be that she's holding a small glowing object that reminds you a bit of the primordial stones you've seen. And it looks like she's smiling to see you. But as she starts to move and do that, the rattling gets louder. And give me a perception check.
Perception. It's that reception check, but let me just. Where's my sheet?
Check your reception.
Give me a reception,
reception
check
check?
for Verizon,
What's that
the
supposed-
nation's best LTE network.
Oh no! Please, God, no!
And now it's time for
Wait,
our
okay.
sponsors.
Perception check. There you go.
Coca-Cola.
Not the saving throw. Perception check. Gotcha. 17.
9. You start to hear over the sound of the chain this muffled voice. And in your vision, it seems like there's these bits of light starting to glow in the air, and you quickly realize you can hear what seems to be Shanti's voice calling to you. And the tightness on the chain, it's very noticeable now. You can feel it almost give a little bit of slack.
Fine slack. Pull?
Yeah, it's
You pull.
looser. You can
Like-
pull it better now.
Yeah,
It's looser.
yeah.
As I heard Shanti's voice calling, I feel, I guess, looser from the grip of the. Okay.
As you start pulling the chain further and further, Shanti's voice becomes clearer, but the last thing you hear before this bright flash of light overtakes your vision is the unmistakable sound of the goddess of Rot's voice as she speaks and says, seemingly to you, "Soon, Zendil.
You will see me again. And in a flash, you're pulled out of this bright light, and you see Brock and Shanti standing above you.
What is that? What do you mean? Wait, Brock? Shanti?
Back,
What
Zendil.
happened?
Welcome back.
Why are you just standing there? I was... Oh, so it was,
No, please
It
show
really
us
was.
your best pretty.
What?
I'm confused as I wave my arms back and forth while hopping in one place.
Pretty.
While
Oh. Shanti looks at him and just goes, Fate sent us to what I'm assuming were desired realities. But, well, you're back now, and we still need to get them out. And she gestures to the others. Because I'm assuming that Kolvar and Jonathan and Oleron are still in theirs, right?
Maybe.
Are
I
they?
said you see 3 cocoons, and you just pulled one out of them.
Okay,
You just
so-
got Zendil out of one of them.
Hey, where are the others? Okay. She
Right.
looks at the other cocoons and just like, Brock, does that seem like there's less cocoons than there were people?
I only have 2 more cocoons, and yeah, well, Asm Sine, but there was also Culver and Jonathan and Oleron.
Shanti
God,
turns and looks.
my memories are still getting mixed with the other reality. God.
Shanti kind of nods her head and then looks over towards where Fate had been in a little tornado spin. Is he still in there?
Yeah, you still see this big tendril of wings, and as you squint and look closer, it's occurring to you how far away it feels now, but it seems like there's figures standing at the base of it, and there seems to be 3 of them. Also, one of the cocoons I forgot to mention is like a bit more sunken down into the ground than the other one is.
Fuck. Okay, we need to get the others out, and soon.
Agreed.
I'm going to move towards the cocoon that is not completely in the ground. And I want to put my hand on that one and try to figure out who that one is.
You feel it, and you can feel the sensation of like Interna's presence, and you figure it's probably Azim inside of this one.
Oh. Azim. This is Azim. We need to get him out. I could try the same thing again. Zendil, did you, like, have a dream or something?
I had a vision of some sort. Dream, yes.
Okay.
It was
Okay, then I guess that did
like
it kind
an
of work.
alternate universe.
Okay, I could try it again. And then I want to attempt to do the same sort of funky, dreamy magic that I did with Zendil with Azim's cocoon.
You do that, and Azim, you're inside the temple, and you just felt the tugging of that chain on your chest a moment ago, and it seems to point back to where you were sitting.
Mm-hmm.
And you see your old rival sitting at a pillow right next to you, or right next to where you were sitting. He just asked you not to bother his meditation, and to like get back to meditating.
Azim refuses and keeps trying to like exit the temple itself. He just like, I don't, even though it's a fantasy setting, he still does not associate well with it. Those bad memories. They're still
do
trying
that.
to like get out.
You can feel the tension of the chain on you, but now it's not halting you anymore. As you quickly exit and make your way down the halls of the temple.
Mm-hmm.
I assume you want to exit out to like the very entrance of the temple.
Yeah, like get out of there because like he's obviously not supposed to be there. He's supposed to be somewhere else.
You do that, continuously feeling that tension building up inside of that chain on you, although you can still continue to walk. And as you keep walking further and further, you reach the exit and you see the courtyard of the temple, and all the various monks. They seem to be just going about their daily chores. Everything seems just peaceful.
I still try to walk out,
You do that.
like completely ignoring everything, just like going straight.
As you do that and you step into like the center of the courtyard, you're immediately struck by a memory. You recall this vivid memory of your former rival once you were in your later teenage years after your midnight scuffle when you were kids. You remember this vision of him on his hands and knees bowing to you and seemingly begging for your forgiveness.
Is this an actual memory from like the older world or from like this newer one?
This is something that say you've never seen this in your real life. Like his memory hits you now from this world.
I guess Asm just takes the confusion. It's just like, oh, that can't be right. That never happened. More confused as ever, as if like, I know before we ended the last session, Asm used like stillness of mind, but now that's like slowly fading away. Now it's just like more dazed and confused of everything.
And you continue towards the exit of the temple, I presume?
Yes. It's like he's just more sure that he has to get out.
As you do that, you reach the door and it seems like this just won't budge. This door is firmly held shut.
Asm tries to kick down the door. It's like in growing frustration and anger. It's just like, I need to get out. I can't stay. I need to get out.
Frustration builds. You feel the tension from the chain in your chest build more and more. And it seems like it's starting to loosen up a little bit, but it's infirm.
Is the chain like visible, or is this like more like a feeling?
Yeah, it's like it sort of looks like it's made of glass as it catches the light. It's visible.
I try to grab it, the chain, and like yank it.
You do that and you get a firm grip on it.
Nice. I try to yank it out for me.
You do that and you try pulling and it feels like it's stuck in like dense clay. It's so firmly stuck inside of you. But as you give it more and more of like a tug, you can feel some odd sensation coming from your back. And then you feel something kind of like almost slither across your arm. Almost like a snake just landed on you and it's like wrapping around your arm. And
I guess like feeling the sensation as I'm looking at his arm in panic, I was just like, what is that?
As you look at your arm and see what's slithering across your arm, you notice this red cloth seems to be wrapping around your arm. Even though it just looks like a piece of cloth. It's very strange. And you realize the bow that was strapped over your shoulder is now sort of contorting and wrapping its way around your arm. And you hear it speak to you in Interna's voice. Ah, Asm. It seems you've gotten yourself into a bit of a bind now. So, have you finally found your way to challenge fate?
Shit.
Maybe I should rephrase that. Did you pick a fight with fate, or is fate just trying to kill you now?
Well, well, I don't feel dead, so it doesn't feel like he's killed me. More like done something else. I don't know. I just have to leave this place. I can't be here.
You are correct. Without you, everyone is going to die. I'm going to need all the help I can get to finish my spell. Now then, to get you out of this timeline should be as easy as 1, 2, and you see the ribbon on your arm kind of like unwind and wrap around the chain on you.
Mhm.
She says, and pull on 3.
Sorry, I
do you
didn't catch
pull-
that. What were you saying?
Do you pull
Yeah, I
with them? Okay.
Yeah.
So
It's just like you slightly called off, and I was like, "Did you just say pull, pull?"
as you give it a yank, it seems like Interna's blessing is kind of helping you with getting it out of your chest. And the resistance seems to be. It still feels like it's a stone stuck in you, but
Mhm.
you can see the chains making its way out of you, and there's this kind of like red chaotic nonsense up against your chest cavity, or like your sternum, as you keep pulling the chain out further and further with the help of this ribbon.
Mhm.
And then, as you kind of fully pull it all the way out, you can see it just ends in this like bit of chaotic redness. Right then, now that that's all gone, just cut down this door using me.
Is she referring to her sword, or how she's fancied herself in my arm?
Both.
Both. Okay,
She
I guess.
responds.
Yeah. As nods in agreement and uses his sword to cut down the door.
You do that, grabbing a hold of your sword. The ribbon that you can hear Interna speaking from seems to wrap around the hilt of it and parts of the blade. As you bring down your sword in one swift and like resistance-free slash against the door, a portal opens in front of you. Do you step through?
I guess I jump in it.
You do that. Everybody on the outside, as Shanti reaches towards the cocoon, from the side of it, you can see Azim's sword skewer out the side of it and slash down the side, and Azim just jumps straight out of it. And then the cocoon behind him kind of like flickers and disappears.
Shanti jumps visibly, and it's just like, Jesus!
As I'm just looks at Shanti, it's like Shanti, and then lashes on her.
Oh, she's gonna hug him back.
Oh.
Asm just says softly, like almost breaking. He's like, "Please do not leave."
Oh, she's
Please.
gonna like hug him tighter and like pat the back of his head and just go, I'm not leaving. I won't leave. Guys, get in here. It's group hug time. Both of you.
Right.
She like waves her like her hand and it's just like, get in here. Give him a hug.
All right.
Barack will
I join in the
walk
hug.
over.
Yay.
Also give a hug.
We're not
How
leaving.
Azim's
Azim.
getting a mage hand in the back, like just like hugging him as well.
No.
My mage.
We're not leaving, Azim.
Asm just like slowly like slows his breathing down. He was almost like in a hyperventilating breathing. Now he's like calming down to like and like finally gets to like calm down a bit. Thank you.
You don't have to thank me. But we are on a bit of a time crunch. We need to get that cocoon open, and then she looks over at the little tornado-y thingy. And then we need to get over there.
Is that where fate is?
I'm assuming so.
Good. I'm ripping off his fucking wings.
Shanti kind of like raises her eyebrows and looks at him, but it's just like, that's the best idea I've heard all day. And she comes out of the hug and looks at the cocoon that is kind of stuck in the ground and goes, all right, let's see who you are. And I'm going to walk up to it and put my hand on it and try to see who's in that cocoon.
You do that, and from the feeling, it feels very familiar to you. It seems like it's very faint, but it seems like it might be Oleron inside of this.
Shanti kind of pulls her hands back and looks at it and is like, do we have to let this one out? Yes. Damn.
Who is it?
It's Oleron.
If you want to stand any chance against fate itself, yes.
Why do you have to be right?
Trust me, I don't like it either. And I put my hand like on her shoulder.
She kind of like takes her free hand and pats Rock's hand before trying to do the dreamy, magic-y
Gritty.
thing with that egg.
You give it a try, but this time it feels like there's a just complete brick wall in front of you. Like there's no penetrating this. Like your magic just does not get through to it at all. Whoever's inside of this seems like Oleron just does not want to come out.
Damn it. She curses and she pulls her hand away and just goes, I can't get through. Feels like a wall. Come on, you stubborn brat. Just come out.
As
On the
he just
contrary.
kind of puffs.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
3 people talked at once. Can we go Streaky, Yasha,
Them
and
first.
Makeshift?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
Streaky, you first.
As I'm just, yeah. As I'm just kind of puffs out and just says, what if I try cutting it like what I did
No.
to get out of mine?
No. We're not gonna cut this. As much as I don't like him, I don't want to risk damaging whatever's inside. Okay, now Brock, what'd you say?
I want to touch it as well.
And it's cold like a lump of ice. You just touch it and no reaction.
It's sad. And I'll also just turn to Azam. Cutting it open should always be the last resort. But then again, Shanti. And he looks over at Fate for just a second. Looks back at the cocoon.
As you glance over towards Fate, you notice that a figure has approached you without you noticing. And you hear them speak and go,
Actually, Shanti, there's no need. I'm not inside one of those.
and you see Oleron take off his hat and show his face to all of you.
That's not me in there.
Shanti turns and looks at him like genuinely surprised. And then she kind of tilts her head and goes, "No, but I felt you." And then she looks back at the cocoon and back at him, and she just starts to shake her head. No.
I was poking around the cocoons myself a bit, trying to see if there's any way to get in. I noticed this one.
He walks over to it and puts a hand on it.
can feel the same magic signature that comes from me in this, isn't it?
That's not possible.
Think so?
It's not. He's in a completely other place.
Loon did say they were fighting him as well.
She looks
What
at Brock
place
and
do
her
you think
face
we're in?
fills. Okay, sorry. Say that again,
no.
Makeshift.
There you go. Mine's just Oleron's response.
She looks at Brock, and then her eyes kind of go wide with realization, and then she looks at Oleron and is just like, oh no.
Realm of consciousness is a very strange place. But if you heard my voice, if somebody told you, then this must be him. Shanti.
Yep. I don't want to interrupt you, go.
No, this is him pausing and stammering.
Shanti looks back down at the cocoon, and she, like, for a moment she's just staring at it, like, no, like, this is not happening. And then she raises her fist, and she just smacks it against the fucking cocoon, knowing it's not gonna do anything, but she just needs to let out that fucking frustration. Okay, so what do we do then? Just sit here and wait for him to... Why is his in the ground?
Is the only unique one. All of you are out now, correct?
Not Sinead, but...
Oh, what's the need? Yeah.
Seems like Fate's focusing all of his attention on hers. Probably why she hasn't come out yet. Been trying to work something out, but there's not much we can do. However, we should at least focus on getting everyone who can. Making any more moves. This one, I think he might have accepted his fate.
No. What? He can't just stay in there.
Looks around at the world around you, and he goes,
I'm sorry, Shanti, but I think he can.
She kind of, like, puts both of her hands behind her head and, like, leans back, just staring at this, is, like, trying to figure out something to do. Somebody was gonna say something. I'm sorry. What?
Brock will kind of just try and hold Shanti just for a little bit and say, hey, we'll get him back.
How? How are we can't go in. He can't come out. How the fuck are we supposed to get him out of there?
Well, we try to go in one by one. I'm assuming you already tried it. All wrong.
Not really.
All of us together might. You with your dream magic. All wrong by basically being the same person, just different. And he looks over at Asm and, well, you motherfucker just managed to cut through Cocoon. Although I recommend not stabbing it.
I'll be gentle.
I don't think all of you understand exactly where he is right now. Do you remember how difficult it was for you to get from your reality to mine?
We had to go through the parabola.
Exactly. And now, the God of Fate is also putting up a wall. If he doesn't want to leave, nothing's taking him out of there. Except,
you see Oleron, like, grasp at his face a bit.
I didn't try because I assumed whatever he must have lived through whatever he's got now is better. All of you. Was I your version of me, at least? Good man.
If you asked him, he'd say no. But I believe he is.
Brock will look at the cocoon and just say, he wasn't always, but yes. Right now, he most definitely is. But it is the pain that made him good. And knowing that as bastard fate showed us the perfect world, I can see why he would want to stay. A world where he never made the mistakes.
You see Oleron, he kind of like pets his hand across the surface of the cocoon. And this like crack in space seems to open up. And he goes,
Whoever thinks that they can pull him out and change his mind, here's your chance. I'll send you in.
Shanti is going to stand up because it's in the ground. She was probably kneeling to reach it. So she stands up and she looks at him and goes, "Thank you." And she's gonna go through, or she wants to go through. Can she go through,
Okay.
or can she wait?
Yep, Oleron.
Wait.
Oleron then's like,
Any other takers?
I will accompany her.
You too?
Asin walks up and grabs like Shanti by the shoulders and his knees and says, "I'm not leaving you behind. I go too."
Oh. Shanti turns and looks back at Azim and gives him a small smile and like reaches up and puts her hand on top of his and goes, "I really owe you." Zendil, are you coming, bud?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah! The
Totally.
whole team!
Yeah.
Well,
Of course I'm coming.
most of the team. We need a
We're
small
all in
Zendil
this
just in the back
together.
smoking the fucking pipe. Totally coming.
He answers the
All
bog.
in
It's just
this
like,
together.
it's together.
We
Oh my
know
I
it.
just-
We're all stars and you know it.
and so
I call being Troy Bolton.
you all reach out your hands in a go team position with Oleron's hand placed upward. And he says,
Good luck.
and right as you hear that, you're all teleported and the scene changes. And you see yourselves standing in this rustic looking town. The streets look nice. Dirt road, a little odd. Things look kind of old fashioned as you glance around. But everything's kind of calm. Everything looks very ordinary. Oh, and there's a whole lot of dandelions you notice growing at the base of houses.
Do we recognize this? Can I make a roll to recognize this? Like,
Yeah, give me a history check.
history check. How much is that modifier? Roll 20. Oh, with Shanti's butt fucking amount of fucking intelligence, that would be a plus fucking 8. Let's go, baby.
Critical fail.
Nope. Dirty 21. That's what 13 plus 8 is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, dirty 21.
Yeah, I know numbers.
Glancing around, you notice that there seems to be a flag waving on one of the buildings that's a little bit larger. And you notice there's this Whew, and the burp, sorry. You notice there's this flag waving, and it perplexes you for a moment because you can't quite recognize it. But then it occurs to you, the symbol at the center of this larger design is exactly the same seal that was found on artifacts from Silanoris from over 1,000 years ago. And you realize you must be in Silanoris right now, but not the one that you recall. It's almost like Silanoris never disappeared.
Shanti looks around at everything, glances up at the flag, realizes what's going on, and just goes, "Oh no. I think I know what this world is. We need to find him."
Cheese realm.
Oh my god!
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Realm.
The cheese realm.
She looks back at all of you and just...
Welcome to the cheese realm, Jimbo.
She turns to all of you and just goes, "We need to find him, and now. I think I know why he wants to stay."
Like, Okay, I cast makeshift. Will you allow me to cast detect magic? That will actually help.
Makeshift did nod at you. I don't know if it went through or not, but he nodded.
Did I not go through?
No.
Yeah, I said yeah.
He nodded. Oh shit! I wasn't looking at the
No,
stream.
you're fine. I think the new air conditioning is making your AI work overtime.
Yeah, 1 second.
So that was a yes.
We hear. Yes.
Okay. I should
See
be
ya,
alive.
cuzzy.
My room's nice and cool, so it should be fine.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, yes. Hope that hasn't fucked up my audio the entire stream.
It's not too bad. Don't worry about it.
Gotcha.
I cast detect magic.
You do that, and as you do that, you immediately sense this massive well of magic coming from not only the people standing right next to you, but you feel it in the distance, this massive tangle of energy. It's like absolutely wild feeling. And your senses, it almost feels like there's some massive pillars stretching up from the ground, closer towards like the center of town.
Oh no.
I gesture the others on the direction where I sense the massive pillar-like energy structure.
You do that, and you point in the direction of what looks to be a very tall wall, with the sun beginning to set behind it.
No. But Silanoris has no walls. Ah. Okay. Shanti's going to...
There is no walls in Silanoris.
There is no war in Ba Sing Se.
There is no war in Boston.
There are pens on my
damn it.
legs.
There is
I
no
think I sense
wall in
something there.
Silanoris. Okay,
Unless
okay,
it's
okay.
Something else.
Okay, back in serious mode.
We're
Serious
getting too many
angsty mode.
reference.
There is no piss in the pool.
See, okay,
I love it.
there are times like these where I sit here and I'm like, why can't we just focus on the plot? Critical Role never does stuff like this. And then I remembered that Critical Role literally went on a 10-minute rant about Matthew Mercer's childhood photos. And I'm like, okay, you know what? We're doing fine. This is fine.
Forgetting about the moments we have.
Don't you
here,
know
yeah.
the shenanigans? Don't you know the shenanigans where he pulls out a jerry can? I can't remember
Yeah,
the dude's name.
that's what
The one that plays
the
Scatman.
Jerry kid, the gas kid. Well, the
That's
one with the
the great
fucking
Jerry
bingo
kid,
card
yeah.
on it. So yeah,
You're forgetting, like,
I would fucking do that. I
You
would fucking
would.
do
fooling
that.
around is part of D&D.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly.
Which is why I'm like, okay, I need to stop being such an anal asshole about it. Oh my god,
If I
this
could
is
be a
fucking
giant jerry
funny.
can, I would.
There's no piss in the...
Speaking of,
Anyway,
so we can get the jitters out of us. Do you guys mind if we go on a quick 5-minute break so I can use the bathroom and get a french fry?
absolutely. Let's
Yeah.
do that so I can
All
laugh
right.
my ass off at pisses in the pool.
Yeah.
All right,
Gotcha.
Chad,
I'm
we are
gonna get a
going on a
drink.
quick break, and we will be back here in just a minute. Stay tuned.
There's.
Don't-
So there I was with my nanomachine, son.
Oh my god, every time! Oh, the fucking Family Guy music! Hi, chat, we're back.
Hey, Lois. Hey, Lois, what are we doing here in the D&D server?
We're playing a fucking Dungeons and Dragon games, Peter.
Jojo.
So,
Anyway.
we were having a giggle right as we got back, because like we noticed a new chatter dropped in and just immediately started dropping nothing but D&D jokes.
The
We were like,
best
what the fuck is
jokes.
going on?
Absolute fucking
Straight
fire.
up beggars.
Whew.
Peter, the DM is here.
Lois, please.
Peter, no, listen.
Beta.
Lois, roll for initiative.
Oh, fuck you, Peter.
Peter, stop masturbating and grab the dice.
Lois, I can't stop. Trying to flirt with the dragon.
Peter, stop flirting with the fucking dragon.
Lois, listen, it's hot. Come on.
This is what happens when you allow voice actors to play D&D. We just do this the whole time.
Peter
Peter,
Griffin, Lois Griffin, Mickey Mouse, Krog, fucking.
Peter, if you try to seduce the dragon, you'll end up in the mason drawer.
Into the mason jar with you. Oh my god. Make sure stop dying.
Brian, if I play a Beastmaster Ranger, will you be my pet?
What's wrong, Brian? Couldn't figure out the Warlock special ability.
Stewie's got
Oh, yeah.
Brian, you fool! I cast Eldritch Blast.
Anyway, where were we? Oh yeah.
Where were we?
Okay,
our,
okay,
our
back-
new
back to the
special
game.
where Family Guy plays D&D.
Back to the game, back to the game. Anyway.
So you all enter into Elric's reality, which seems rather mundane, and it seems to be old Stellanoris to a degree, but like aged a bit. And it seems like things are pretty calm here. Like you see a few people passing by; they seem like farmers. But as you get closer towards the wall, the city gets denser and denser.
Hey,
And pretty
makeshift.
soon, yeah. Oh, wait.
Quick question about your mic. Is it on the correct input? For Discord?
Good question. I just turned off the AC again, so it might be better now.
There it is. Yeah, because you were echoing a little bit.
Ah.
In it for the experience. I can't look at chat. I can't look at these good jokes. They're gonna distract me. I'm supposed to be really sad right now. Okay. I gotta like.
Chris out here just doing some bangers.
I've gotta fucking block chat. Okay, there we go. Wonderful. Okay. Continuing on, we're in Old Stellanoris. It looks like a little bit older, but not. And Zendil has found a massive well of energy, and he pointed at it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And as you head in that
Like-
direction, it's yeah, what's up?
Oh no! Go on.
Okay.
Nothing.
As you head in that direction towards this massive well of energy, you see like as you round a corner, you see this kind of busy street of like a market. Lots of dandelions seem to line the edges of it. And they seem to be getting denser as they head towards what looks to be a fountain at the center, in this kind of courtyard-looking area. And you see somebody sitting at it with their head slumped over.
No, don't do this. Okay. Do I recognize the head?
It's a bit far away, but Zendil can tell that's right where the massive well of energy is coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Shanti is going to look at Zendil for confirmation that this is what he found. Zendil, buddy, she's looking at you.
Yes.
She's
Choking on water.
please don't die. God damn it. No, stop dying, all of you.
Choking on water. Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, okay, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm
You
good.
sure?
I'm good. Okay.
Let it all out. It's okay.
Yeah,
Make
I let
summon
the ice
water.
out that came in for a second in there, you know. Okay.
Breathe. We'll give you a minute. It's okay.
All right.
I'm gonna reach through the screen and give you a
You know,
little
my
pat on
instincts
that.
are telling me to drink water, but that was the problem.
Okay, so
Yeah, okay.
Shanti turns and she looks at you, and she's looking for confirmation. So she kind of raises her eyebrows in a questioning expression.
I look back at the direction of what she's pointing. I squint to really confirm with, detect magic. I bet it's still on. It's 10 minutes.
Mhm.
So, makeshift. I do see that, right? Like, it is
Yes.
there. I'm not failing a roll. Okay, yeah. Then I signal back something. That's it. That's the one. I gesture, like, point. Yeah. Check. Yeah, affirmative. Correct. Greetings. Correct. Sire.
Shanti, I have to get the giggles out. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm fine. Okay. Shanti looks back at. God damn it! I need to block chat on both screens. Fuck.
I saw the ad and I couldn't. I had to look.
Oh my god. Okay. I need to be in character. Okay. Ooh. Traumatic experiences. Sad things. Okay. Shanti, as he confirms that this is the magic that he felt, Shanti's face kind of just falls. And she's like, oh no. And she's going to slowly begin to approach this slumped over shrug.
As you walk towards it and clear the distance between you, it becomes clearer and clearer that there's definitely a person sitting at that fountain. The water quietly and patiently bubbling behind them as it, continuously spews out a bit of water. As you get closer, it seems like you immediately recognize, like, the hair looks like the right color, but the person there is shirtless and just sitting, like, slumped, almost like they're sleeping, sitting upright. And they've got something placed next to them that looks like a fur.
Do I recognize the fur?
Boots with the fur?
It looks familiar.
Oh no! Oh no.
Oh, no.
She kind of stops in her tracks and is just like a bit terrified to approach, and she just stops and then turns and she looks back at Brock like, please tell me I can do this, because she's shaking her head like, I don't.
They're right here. You got this.
She's gonna swallow the lump in her throat, approach even closer, and kneel in front of him.
You do that, and as you kneel down, you see most notably that the person in front of you has this kind of, like, bushy, unkempt beard, and
No!
they seem to have something around their neck that looks like a metal shackle.
Oh my god. If this really is him, that means he's been here for a while for a beard to grow. Oh my god. Okay. Oh, this is, like, genuinely sad. I don't want to reach out and touch him because I don't want to scare him. I don't know what to do. Oh,
Give me a stealth check.
okay, thank you. Thank you for making me do something. Oh
Does
god.
that go for all of
She's
us,
got low
or-
stealth, man. This could easily fail.
Shanti,
help her be
No!
stealthy.
she kneels in front of him. What'd you roll?
I got a
Please be good.
3 with modifiers.
You got a 3. So as you
Oh my I'm
As
looking
you
up the
kneel-
spells if can help.
As you kneel down in front of him, and you're like observing the features on his face, you pretty quickly realize this is Elric.
No.
And then your book falls flat on the ground and onto one of his feet as it came unlatched.
Fucking
And
shit ass motherfucking book. God damn it.
and you hear him go,
What the? Shanti?
and he looks up and he sees everybody else.
No. What are you all doing here?
Shanti reaches forward and picks her book back up, and she doesn't latch it back to her belt just yet. She just kind of holds it to her chest and just stares at him with just sadness and pity in her eyes, and she just goes, we came to get you out.
Shanti, please don't tell me. Are you fighting fate right now?
I mean, not at this very moment, but yes.
No. God, damn it. Do any of you understand what you're up against right now?
One of, if not the most powerful being in existence, yes.
And do you understand the magnitude of that?
She pauses for a long moment before looking back at Brock and then looking back at Elric and going, I think I do, and I just don't want to accept it.
Then I'll make it abundantly clear for all of you. But first I need to know, did you all at least have a chance to escape?
I don't
Or
know.
did you
how to-
choose to come here?
I don't know how to answer that question. Somebody help Briar's brain, because Briar's brain is very weak.
Brock will stand forward and just say, you know that walking away isn't our thing. Not from a friend.
I appreciate it, Brock. But you don't understand what we're fighting. I was traveling with Loon, and we were able to unbind Celeste from her form and free a dragon from her. It's a long story. It doesn't matter anymore. When we got pulled back in time, I witnessed the fight between Interna and Fate. And Loon told me that supposedly we were getting help from the future and she could see it. I didn't understand what she meant. When I saw them fighting, the stories always portrayed it as Interna had just put a cut or a scratch or a crack into Fate. I didn't think that when she actually attacked him, she destroyed most of a continent just with the aftershock. I watched most of existence crack and crumble in front of me. And all it did was put that one crack on his face. One droplet of that attack nearly pierced my heart and killed me when we fought the goddess of war. That was one drop, and what I saw was the whole ocean. And now we're fighting the thing that couldn't even put more than a scratch on. What are we going to do when we get back out there? Just roll over Make it easier for fate to kill us so it's less painful.
No.
Shanti realizes what he just said, and it clicks in her head.
Fucker.
She wasn't. Does it click in her head, Mr. DM?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
gonna say, just because you had a conversation with Oleron about it.
Yeah.
You realize, back when you were first entering that, back right before you encountered Oleron, Jonathan, and Kolvar, you had heard Elric's voice say basically that, where he said, "What are we going to do? Just roll over?" And it occurs to you that through perhaps a crack in time itself, this moment had already been written out.
Shanti's whole body just kind of like slumps a little bit as she realizes, oh shit, if this moment was planned out, all of this was. And she just kind of realizes that it is fucking hopeless. And she just stares at it. There has to be some, like, is there really nothing we can do?
I'll tell you what you can do. Go back, whatever way you managed to get in here. Escape, however you can, and get as far away from the God of Fate as you can.
I'm pretty sure the door's shut. And we are not leaving you.
He's right. If you think we're leaving you here, then you are absolutely delusional.
Elric sits back down with like a thump at the well.
Look around you. I smacked my desk. Look around you. What do you see?
I am assuming that this is old Silanoris, but it hadn't disappeared.
Yes. It is. It's hard to tell how long I've been sitting here. I've been sleeping most of the time, letting my mind just drift and be calm for once. And I've watched as generations have grown, and the city keeps getting larger. Everyone here, they're all the people that would have been alive if I didn't eat them.
He turns and picks up the fur that's on the ground, or on the fountain.
Did I ever tell you all how I got this cape?
No. No, you didn't.
It was gifted to me a long time ago. I've kept it prepared ever since. By a woman. She was a Selkie. Said I reminded her of her son. The details are a bit blurry, but I remember. She died because of my insatiable desire for vengeance. To strictly enforce my word on the world. It was no fault of her own. And now, I'm finally given a world in which every sin I've ever committed has been erased and undone. How can I give that up? Well,
I'll tell you how. He reaches up towards the collar he's wearing. He kind of tugs at it. Originally, this was attached to my chest. But now, I think it's changed over time. Each one of the chains that come from it. And he like pulls on one of them, and you see this shimmer appear in the air where there's a chain. He tugs at it, and it leads towards a woman who's like walking by with her child. And like a second chain is also tied to the child. It points to each and every person here. I think fate is telling me there's only one way to exit this place.
You'd have to do it again.
Yeah. And this time, it'll be so many more lives. And you know what's worse about all of this? This is my perfect world. And I didn't even get the one wish I ever asked for. Just have a quiet life. Back with my mother. My old home. Just once. I have nothing here. Just the relief of having no sins on my shoulders.
Oh my god. This is so much worse. Shanti looks like she wants to say something, but is just kind of stunned by the fucking psychological torture of it all. And she just looks around and then looks back at him and goes, I'm sorry. That can't be the only way out. That wasn't the way out for us. And she looks back at Brock and Zendil and Azim. You people, you didn't have to, did you?
No,
No.
No.
nothing on the scale. Nothing even close.
Bastard.
Neither did I.
Seems like I've sunk too deep into this world. And now, even if I could exit, what would we do? Like I said, we can't kill fate. This is the end.
No.
And then... Oh no, you go.
Nope, she's just having a hard time processing it. She's very much trying to think her way out of this situation, and it's beginning to give her a headache. She can't find another way out.
And then you all hear a voice that's oddly familiar, and it's coming from Azim's direction. And you hear it speak and go, all right, now that he's had a good cry, everybody, listen up very closely, because here's how you're going to cut off Fate's head.
Shanti jumps
And
and turns towards Azim and is like, what did you just say?
Over here,
As in this,
Shanti.
I was like, oh, yes.
Look at his arm. And you see this, like, red ribbon wrapped around his arm. And seems to be the source of the sound.
Is that?
As I'm realizing that he lifts his arm up, he's like, oh yeah, here. And like holds it in front of himself.
Azim, where did you get that?
When I was in World, it just happened.
It's the bow that
it's just here now.
It's the bow that I gave Azim when we met. You hear the ribbon speak. Or did you all forget that it was made out of my clothing when I gave it to you?
Interna.
Indeed. Yeah, little play on words with the start of my name. Interna, get to whatever you're saying. Alright, fine. So, I've been casting this spell for a good long time now. I think Elric saw the start of that. Yeah. But I'm going to need all of your help to finish casting it. You see, Fate's a bit hard to kill, but he does still have a few weak points on his body. Namely, his skinny neck. It's the easiest part to cut off and actually do some damage. To do that, you're just going to need to have Sinead cut his head off because, well, only that sword she has can really do it. And of course, to get there, you're going to need to tear off all of his wings and cut them off to make sure you can't use them. Can you all handle that?
We
Oh,
can
I was gonna
try.
enjoy the second part.
Oh, yes. And before I forget, and you see like the ribbon kind of like stretch and reach over towards Brock and like tap you on the forehead. And you get kind of this like snap of knowledge go through your brain, remembering the time that Interna touched you on your forehead back in the alternate universe. And she gave you some knowledge.
Stole away and Interna touched you.
Oh shit! No! No! That's like just as it's slapping.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That was perfect. Holy
It's
shit.
okay. It's a
So-
lot for that.
All right, guys, today we should talk about sexual harassment in the workplace.
No! Put it back! Put it back! Okay.
Please.
And so, you have this information shoot you through your brain about the steps necessary to be able to take off Fate's wings and cut off his head. However, the instructions on cutting off his head are really just as simple as Sinead's sword. You gotta need it. Aside from that, Brock, you now have the order of operations needed to maybe win this. And you hear the ribbon speak again from Eterna's voice and go, "Now then, an attack that crosses over 4,000 years, deep into the realm of consciousness, and across 2 different universes. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the best spellcaster in all of reality."
Fucking brat. Shanti kind of looks at the ribbon, just severely impressed, and then looks at Brock and goes, "So it's possible?"
There's a chance.
A chance is all we need. But we still have one problem. I'm not doing this without him, but I'm not going to make him kill an entire civilization.
That's a good point. There's still the problem of this thing around my neck. And alas, we are back where we began, Interna. Any more bright ideas? What do you mean, Elric? You made the wish so long ago. Have you already forgotten? What? What do you mean? I'll give you some privacy. And you see the ribbon kind of wrap back around Azim's arm. What? What could she possibly mean? Does anybody know what she's talking about?
Your wish, Elric. What exactly did you wish for?
The only thing I ever wished for was from Leverton. And that was ages ago. Back when I was just a kid. She wasn't even able to grant it.
I have a wish to grant.
What was it?
What is it, Shanti?
Shanti would like to look around and see if there might be a certain person in the crowd, because she's like, hey, at the beginning of this whole shebang, at the beginning of this whole travel into psionic hell, Laverton told me she had a wish to grant. So I want to look around and I want to see if she's in the crowd somewhere. Or just hanging around somewhere. Because I know there's not really a crowd, but... I want to know
You
if
don't see her in the
Laverton's
crowd, but you do see that Elric's horns have begun to
Real
grow out of his
aversion was
head.
the friends we made along the way.
Oh my god.
You see Elric's horns growing out of the top of his head. And it almost seems like he doesn't notice it at first, but then his expression seems a bit surprised as he reaches up towards his head and tries to reach for the antlers, but they start to slide backwards and remove themselves. It's almost like the antlers moved away from his head. And he chokes for a moment as his collar is pulled back through his skin and kind of warps into his neck. And in one swift motion, he lurches forward as the antlers and the collar are removed. And you see Laverton arcing out of his back. And she has the collar around her neck now.
You have a wish to grant. Oh, fuck you! You ruined it! You absolute dickhole! Oh my... Motherfucker!
What the hell is happening?
There was a
What is
fucking...
going?
There was a fucking 18-wheeler sitting outside of the fucking tequila bar, and I'm just like, oh my god, it's Laverton. You have a wish to grant. And then I just hear... You fucking dickhole!
Oh my god.
But we're redoing this! We're redoing this! Fuck!
Anyway,
Shanti looks at Laverton
These are
and just...
that's a 24.
Shanti looks at... Shanti looks at Laverton and she just starts to smile and she goes, you have a wish to grant.
you see her look at you and smile. Then she, as it seems like she steps out of Elric and she's now standing in the fountain, she kind of gently wraps her arms around Elric as Elric's hands are kind of shaking as he looks down and he can see the arms wrap around him. And he's at a loss for words. And Laverton speaks into his ear and goes, after all this time, Elric, I can finally grant you your wish to go see Sinead. Correct? Laverton. I don't know what to say. He puts his hands on her arms. It's been so long. I didn't even know you could speak this much. He stands up and pulls away from her arms for a moment, turns around quickly to look at her. I don't want to just leave you here. I can feel that you don't even have your godhood within you. And I don't need it. Now, Elric, let me finally rest and be with Galamora. And Elric pauses and hands still shaking as he covers his face. And he looks up at the walls of Silenoris. I wish I could have appreciated the sunsets more.
Goodbye, Laverton. And as you all see Laverton smile up at Elric, the world around you fades and crumbles quickly as you're all pulled out of this alternate reality and brought back to the one you started in. And you find yourselves much closer to the pillar of wings from before. You see Jonathan and Kolvar standing at the base of it, seeming puzzled and trying to figure out what to do. Oh,
Holy shit, that was. Ugh. Okay. Does anybody else have something they want to do first before I take my bulldozing ass?
But
Good.
Good. Brock, you good?
You're good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
yeah.
Shanti's going to turn and make sure everyone's there. So who all am I looking at?
You see everybody there.
Everybody, including Dickless the Clown?
Yes, all around.
Okay, cool, great.
Dick the clown.
I don't like him. Shanti can appreciate his existence a little bit. Okay, she makes sure everybody's there. She looks back at the pillar and goes, "One left. How the hell are we going to get her out?"
Elric silently walks up towards it and reaches out and touches it. Sinead, you awaken, and you're in a cozy little cabin. Sunlight's beaming through. It's looking nice. It's probably a little past like breakfast time at this point, so you slept in a bit. And you don't feel your sword at your hip. You glance over the wall and you see it placed on the wall without any other sword crossing it. And once again, you wake up to remember a very pleasant reality alongside your wonderful children. In the other room, you can hear somebody cooking. What do you do?
She sits up. And she kind of what's outside. She lets out a sigh.
You do that.
And she realizes this is the most she's been at peace. In about 200 years.
You let out a sigh as you enter the other room. You see who's cooking. And it seems like Kolvar is giving lessons to Jonathan about how to make something. He's kind of like pointing into the pan. And Jonathan seems very focused on it.
Good morning, boys.
In unison, they both say, "Morning, Mom." "Morning, Mom."
What are y'all cooking?
Kolvar is trying to show me how to make pancakes. It's when the bubbles pop, right? Yeah. But there's bubbles all over, like on the side. Yeah, I think it's the side. All right. You hear him flip, and he's like,
She laughs a little bit.
That could have been better. I guess let's chop it up a little bit. Not too bad for a first flip.
You're doing great, Jonathan.
Ah, thanks, Sinead. Shit, I misspoke. Thanks, Mom. I'm too used to saying Miss Sinead in this voice.
What's the
I'm not sorry.
I'm pulling out the chocolate. Where is the chonkla?
The chunkle.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We'll all shut up now. Everybody, shut up! Shush.
Has anyone seen Elric?
Oh yeah, he's I think he's getting back pretty soon. I think I heard him skinning something in the yard. You see Kolvar like look out a window. Yep, I see him out there.
I'll go ahead and check on him. You let us know when the pancakes are ready, okay?
Will do. Hopefully not as burned or completely destroyed as this one. Yeah, maybe we'll try making an omelet. And
You're
it'll
doing
turn
great.
And it'll turn into scrambled eggs halfway. Thank you, Mom. Alright, back to making these. And Kolvar gives you a little wave as you exit, and he gets back to helping Jonathan. I assume you walk outside?
She goes outside and checks on Eric.
You do that, and across a pretty lively garden front yard, you see Elric. It looks like he's dragging something across a hide that's been stretched across some planks of wood. Or he's tanning a hide. You see him doing that.
Having fun.
Jurak barasmir hars. Paramuhirmid Auda. Sorry, I know I have to practice the common tongue a bit more. Don't see why I have to do that, even though it works just fine to speak in Silenoran. But if I'm going to have a career anywhere else...
Yeah, but learning is one of the greatest things of this world.
Yeah, I know. I've always liked things a bit more simple, though. Gardening, hunting. You heard it all before, Mom.
She takes a second and she just breathes in the air.
You do that. Getting a good whiff
It's
of
very
slightly
peaceful
burnt...
today.
Getting a good whiff of slightly burnt pancakes. How it goes. Yeah, really is. A little bit of a cloudy sky. Partially cloudy, I guess I should say. New definitions for these things. Cool breeze. All the plants are doing well. And hunting was good. Another day in paradise. Oh, by the way, you catch an eye full of Jonathan's cooking? How's he doing?
You know. He's doing well.
Nice. Alright. The side's looking pretty good. Now then, what other chores did I need to get done? Now that I think about it, I think that's everything I had on the agenda. Say, Mom, I've been needing to talk to you about something.
What's on your mind?
You see Elric kind of arc his head and look over at the window for a second. Can we walk and talk?
Sure.
Thanks. And he starts walking towards the town center. As the foliage of the front lawn garden kind of clears away and you can see up more easily, You see the walls of Silnoris stretching far higher than they used to, like ever before, and all around the city. It seems more developed, but you don't see any like smoke plumes coming from any direction. There's not really any factories here. And as you're walking, something seems a little off with Elric. Like, maybe he's a bit tired, or he's got some kind of heavy on his mind. Seems like one of those talks.
You feeling okay today?
Well, feeling the same as I have for a while now. I've been having, well, these kind of strange dreams for a while now. Don't tell Jonathan and Kovar about this. I don't want to worry them.
Of course.
All right, thank you.
And as you're walking, you can see like town square coming into view. It's pretty close by, and you see a fountain that Elric tends to frequent rather often coming into view as well.
I keep having this dream. It feels like I'm sitting right at the fountain, but I can't. I'm not sure why. I have this feeling like I'm so lonely. And then every time I wake up, I feel like I've lost something. Something important. I don't know why or what it is.
Maybe you just need to meet a nice girl.
Mom. How did I know you'd say that?
Because that's what mothers do.
I know. But I mean it. Something about this dream, it has me waking up tired. And plenty of times I've woken up.
He stops and he's standing in front of the, like, you've now walked all the way to the fountain. He's like stopped at it. He turns back towards you.
I feel like I'm waking up from crying.
And you see that there is, like, some tears coming down his face.
And I'm not sure why.
She goes and gives him a hug.
You do that. Yeah, you give him a good old hug. And as you do,
Dreams are often very confusing.
I know. Please. Come back to me, Sinead.
you hear him speak as you pull him into a hug.
But you are right here.
What are you talking about, Mom?
Sorry, I just thought I heard something.
Oh? Mind if I ask what it was?
I just thought you said something. It's not. It's not important.
Elric looks down at the fountain, and his vision halts for a moment. And his eyes fix on something that's resting on the fountain. It looks like a fur pelt was there. And he reaches for it. And slowly picks it up in his hands and feels the fur. Did someone leave this here?
I thought that was yours.
This? I've never made a pelt like this before. It feels so familiar. Please, Sinead.
Interesting.
Please, Sinead. It's all I could ever ask. Don't let this wish go to waste.
At this point, tears are starting to well up in her eyes.
Mom, why are you crying?
I can't digest. I want to be at peace.
I know. So do I. That's all I could ever want, Sinead. You see Elric kind of lift his hand to his face, almost curiously. What? Why did I call you that?
They don't understand the price I have to pay.
I know. How could anybody understand? These lives we've had to live, filled to the brim with pain. And now when I finally thought I had peace, I was shown that it was just an illusion. A life that I couldn't live. Now, Sinead, I need you now, more than ever. You see,
I leave. If I leave this, I will never be at peace again.
You see Elric reach out his hand. Then I leave it up to you, Sinead. But I came back, specifically, because I believed we could change this. That we could fight against fate. And you see the area behind Elric is starting to look
What I must do.
look different.
I don't think anyone could comprehend. What I must do, what I must sacrifice.
You see Elric look over your shoulder and back at the cabin that you both walked from.
can at least understand what you have to leave behind now.
It will never be like this again.
I know. I know. The choice is yours.
She, shakingly, takes his hand.
You do that. And as you do, the area behind Elric, it's almost like you're seeing the surface of water from beneath it, and you're moving towards it rapidly as you get pulled through, and Elric catches you on the other side. And in a flash of light, you're back inside this massive plane of feathers all around you.
Sinead, I finally got my wish.
And Elric pulls you in for a hug.
Yes.
She gives him a hug back.
Oh my god, he actually managed to do it. Yeah, I was really starting to get worried there, Miss Sinead. I get this is probably a big moment for you two, but slight problem.
I have a bit of a weird request, Jonathan.
Yes, Miss Sinead?
If you could. Just call me Mom from now on.
I'll think about it. First, let's deal with this thing. And
Yeah.
as Jonathan points up, you see the wings are starting to unfurl and unwrap like a flower, kind of blossoming in the light. And you hear a voice speak out. You, small thing, would dare call me that. And you see the image of fate, or the god of fate, unravel from his cocoon of wings. And he looks around at all of you with that one eye. This disgraceful sight. Gamarand,
Yes.
What is the meaning of this?
Yes. Oh my god, I get the fucking. Let's go. Shanti
Yeah?
stares at him.
Nobody talks to my son that way, jack off.
Okay.
Jack off.
I'm gonna let her. I'm gonna let her do her
with you
thing.
later. Oh, okay.
I'm just gonna let her do her thing. So, I'll do my thing later after this.
Nope, do the line.
Fuck yes. Okay.
They sent me a message.
You
Yeah.
do the one. Yes. Shanti stares at Fate, just not backing down. She's seen so much shit. You've just put her lover through shit. You've put her adopted father through shit. You've put her friends through shit. She's done. And she steps forward, steps closer to him, and stares him right in that eye of his. And she just tilts her head. My name is not Gamarand. He is gone. My name is Shanti. And you are no longer Eternity's greatest creation. I am.
You hear Fate give off just a small chuckle.
Now then, Gamarand,
Faster.
what is the meaning of this form you have taken Need I remind you what set everything in motion?
It's her ass-kicking outfit, bitch.
Back when Interna, that filthy being, scarred my perfect image, what did you do? You gathered her pathetic remains and fled from my wrath. And now, that same thing took your most precious gift, which even that form you're cocooned within could understand the value of. When she struck me, she took your foresight. And now, that same foresight that turned you against the perfect Leverton, it's now eaten her, hasn't it? You filthy creature. Where is she? Why can I not see one of my blessed siblings?
Shanti is going to
You
turn
see-
and look at Elric and just smirk a little bit and like gesture her head for him to come forward.
He glances over at you and he walks up a little bit.
She's gonna take his hand and just smile up at fate.
I kind of forget where I was with this monologue. Shit.
How tender. Each and every one of you. I gave you perfection. And what did you do with that? Failures, all. And now, I'm unwilling to show such mercy again.
And you see Fate reach out one of his arms,
Fuck yeah, Azim. Fuck yes, Azim.
and he points.
Yeah.
Oh, go for it.
Did you not hear what Azim said?
Nope, it's too quiet.
That was badass. Say it again, Streaky, but that was badass.
Right when he said, like, I won't show mercy, I replied, neither are we.
Ah, filthy worshipper of that creature. I'll be sure to make your death painful. I can see it in this very moment. Every single one of you is crushed, and you, Sinead, I will be sure to divide every atom in your being before you die. Now then, at arms.
And you see Fate lift up his hands in a kind of a beckoning motion.
So about that plan Interna put into my head.
Interesting thing about that, I'm gonna end the session there.
Motherfucker.
He got us again! God damn it! God damn it, he got us again!
Gotta catch
Right
y'all
when
with that
Alex is
cliffhanger.
Right when Alex is about to say, fight.
I was waiting for a moment to ask you about it. And you bitch.
Well,
I'll tell
now
you
you
off
have
stream.
7 days to ask him about it. Jesus Christ.
7 days.
Oh my god, what a fucking whirlwind! Oh my god, that was so good! Ugh, I'm gonna be really listening to that one a lot.
Oh, damn.
God damn!
Damn.
It was
Ugh.
really hot in my room.
Turn that AC back on, brother.
No wonder you're in it.
Hey!
Thanks.
Look at him, he's turning pink!
Look,
It genuinely is very
look at
warm
this
in here.
beautiful man. Look at this beautiful man. Look at it. His camera's on.
Look
All
at her
chat,
ass-kicking
look at his-
outfit.
Look at the ass kicking outfit.
Yeah.
I'm so
Yeah.
happy I got to do the line. Ah! That was my favorite.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
my god. I gotta rub my cheeks. I'm smiling so much that. I cannot wait to kick Fate's ass. It's gonna be great.
Okay.
I really
I'm gonna
hope I
have
don't
a
regret
moment.
saying that and he ends up killing me, because that would suck.
Good
Shanti's
app.
body is still technically mortal. Let's not kill her, Briar. Thanks. I'm gonna talk to the dice
Oh,
real
that
quick. Hey,
happens. Asim is
you-
not going to be happy.
You do have a ring on you.
I do. That's true. Psionic attacks
Hey,
get
we
fun.
will see you next week, same bat time, same bat channel.
Oh, hey! Asshole!
Damn.
Damn! Jesus. Anyway, yes, Untold Realms will be back next week.
I took your job, haha.
Fuck you. I'm gonna take my job back. Eat my ass. It's my channel. Anywho, yes, Untold Realms will be back next week, Saturday, 6:30 Eastern, same time, same place. And not this week. This week we have preps and oh Jesus, I just hit my microphone. We have preparations and things like that. But coming up, keep an eye on my Twitter and my YouTube and things like that. We will be starting the mini campaign Blood Moon, where it'll be a lot less stakes, but I'm the DM now. It's my turn. Stop patting her head. Leave her alone. I can see she's doing
Pat,
great.
pat,
She
pat.
just stood up to fate. She just stood up to one of the most terrifying
Grab
beings.
her
Leave her
ears.
alone. You're Pat Zendil.
What?
That bitch is high in the corner. Let pat him. Anywho.
I guess
Zendil is hungry. Breakfast is nigh.
Okay. Thank you guys for showing up to Untold Realms session 24. We will be back with session 25 next week, and it is going to be awesome, and it's going to be heavily combat. Although, Makeshift, I have some ideas on how to throw in some tiny little roleplay moments in there. Pow, pow.
Mhm.
Ooh.
Any whoosies. We will see you all next week. And keep an eye on my Twitter and my YouTube for announcements about Blood Moon, because that is going to be a barrel of fun. Thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you again soon. Bye-bye!
Bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Hungry.